Stop right here. Don't go anywhere. You are especially welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Lori Elijah, and this right here is Frankly Speaking with Lori. I am the girl with the tea. I give detailed analysis of reality TV shows like Big Brother Naija, like Nigerian Idols, like The Voice Nigeria. Basically any reality TV show that actually interests you, it automatically becomes my interest as well. I literally carry on from my head. I give detailed analysis, I give detailed reviews. I run commentaries also because I want us to have fun. I want us to catch cruise. I want us to, vibe to stuff like that. And reality TV shows are not the only kind of content that I put out on my channel. I also do movie reviews. So you see this Glory Elijah of a girl, she's a very, very boring sport. Guys, for real. I am super, super boring. However, whenever I feel like passing my time, just having my own fun, chilling, being in a zen mode, I catch up on movies, which I find very, very interesting or exciting. But also, guys, I love reviewing those annoying ones because, hey, we have to call them out. You cannot come and waste my data. You cannot come and waste my precious time watching some really annoying movies. And I also talk about trending social topics because, of course, this life has to be balanced, okay? It's not all about entertainment and fun all the time. We also need to talk about those serious issues that concerns me, also concerns you as well. You're about to have a blast on this channel. I also share my life experiences from time to time. Yes, that is when people ask me to talk about it. But if people don't ask me to talk about it, sometimes I do not feel the need to talk about it. I like keeping my private things private. But once again, you are welcome to my YouTube channel, and as I told you before, you are in the right space. Trust me, you will be so addicted to this channel. People are going to be asking you, what's happening with you? Are you okay? And hey, don't forget to turn on post notification, all right? That is the best way for you to always receive alerts of my videos. So you see what I'm doing on my screen right now, just do exactly that and you'll be cool. See ya. Hey guys, you are welcome to today's live stream. You're welcome to today's conversation. I'm super excited to be seeing all of you on here. That intro basically explains everything about me. Maybe not all, but just an introduction of what you need to know. But you're welcome. I'm happy to see all of you here. And once again, as usual, I will extend my appreciation to all of you. Thank you all so much for coming through. I understand that this is the weekend and yes, everybody has something to do. But still, the fact that you took out time to join me on today's conversation, I am really grateful and do not take it for granted. Thank you all so much for coming through. So before I say anything, I know you've seen the title of this conversation and the thumbnail. So already you have an idea of what we are going to be discussing. We're going to be talking about young, famous, and African. So I completed the entire season 1, and guys, I had a brain shift. Yes, and you all warned me. You all warned me, and I'm sorry I did not listen to your warnings. Yes, because you guys gave me the red flags. So I had a brain shift. I had a mental shift. I was upset. I was going through a truckload of emotions. I just did not even know how to feel. I was angry. I was livid. Listen, a lot of things, and we're going to talk about them. Yes, there were a lot of things that I noticed and I observed, and my jotter is full. My jotter is full. And you know the interesting part for me, when I started watching the show, I did a cast analysis. And I remember that on that video, a lot of you commented saying, "Oh, Glory, now you're seeing this cast, looking all prim and proper, all goody two shoes and all of that. Don't worry, when you finish the season 1, your perspective about them is going to change." And lo and behold, listen, I was actually wondering, what exactly are these people going to do that's going to make me change the way I think or see them, on the show. I did not know what was coming. I did not know what I was going to see. But then I finished the entire remaining 5 episodes because I had done a review on episode 1 and 2. And guys, I'm not myself. I'm pissed. I am pissed. And I have a whole lot to say. And there are a lot of you as well that have saying, okay, when I'm going to talk about the show. See, today is that day. So we're going to be talking about everything. Episode 5 to 7 or episode 1 to 7. In fact, the entire series, okay? But before I do so, let me first of all do what we normally do on here. On here, we always say hello to everybody that joins the conversation. So let me first of all begin to, salute all of you.
I'm going to start with the first person that commented, Latricia. Hi, Latricia. Thank you so much for joining this conversation. Chidi. Okay, hi, Chidi. Thanks for joining. Golda. Hi, Golda. Hi, Grace. Hi, Dora. Hi, Zim Chili. Hi, Ayomide. Thank you all so much for joining. There's Hennekin Odogo. Oh, is that your real name? That's very, very interesting name. Oh, and yes, myself, Gloria Elijah, of course. Grace, thank you so much for joining. Linus Vincent, thanks for joining, and thanks for the beautiful compliment. Mickey, thanks for joining. Miracle Ajede, thanks for joining. Frank Ikama and Sally, thanks for joining. You all are absolutely welcome, especially welcome. And listen, as we normally do on here, every Saturday. I'm not going to be the only person talking. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and analyze the show from my perspective. And afterwards, I will share the link for you all to join me on this virtual conversation. So I'm sure that a lot of you have things to say. So if you have anything to say, anything to contribute, once I share the link, do not hesitate to click on the link and join me on this conversation. All right. That said, let's get into it. So the first thing I'm going to say, yes, is this. At the start of the show, from the very first episode, I made a statement that Kanyi is my fave. I'm sorry to say, I think I'm going to have to change that today. Kanyi is no longer my fave. Yes, Kanyi is no longer my fave, and that is because a character. Let me not be very, very directing. Is it directing? Let me not be very specific to her personality because I don't know these people outside the show. Okay, I mean, I cannot really analyze the show as if I'm actually analyzing them personally. No. Somehow, I feel like this reality TV show is partially scripted, of course. And the makers of the series, they are gonna definitely edit it to bring out the entertainment part or the entertaining part, the part that carries a lot of drama. Yes, because they want the show to trend. All right. So I'm going to be analyzing the cast based on what I see, all right, from the show. So, okay, so as I was saying, from the start of the season, when I started watching it, my first review, I said that I was Team Kanyi Mbau. I said that I was Team Kanyi, that I loved the character that she portrayed on the series. I love that personality, and I still like her. Don't get me wrong, I still like her. But I think I'm going to automatically switch camps now. And I am now a legit Team Zari. I don't know what Zari is going to do in season 2, but all what I have seen her do in season 1, I stand. I Pakistan, according to how the stanners put it. I stand and I restand and I restand a queen that knows how to keep her control in check, that knows how to, handle conversations. A queen that has emotional intelligence, a queen that has so much sense. Oh my God, Zari is so smart. And listen, guys, by the time I was done watching the entire season 1 of Young Famous in Africa, one thing that just came out of my mouth unconsciously was, now I understand why Zari added the boss lady to her name. She deserves it. And indeed, she is a boss lady in every way, in every regard, in every manner, in every situation. She is the boss lady. And I'm going to come to that, all right? So let me just start by analyzing the cast. I want to reanalyze the cast because that analysis I did before, they totally disappointed me. I am very disappointed. I am upset. As a matter of fact, my perception about each and every one of them has drastically changed, and it's quite surprising. Yes, I mean, from episode 3 to episode 4, it was as if the drama was just escalating. Manipulation. Guys, manipulation was everywhere. From episode 3 to episode 7 was smelling of manipulation, was smelling of insecurities. The stench of insecurity was so high. The stench of intimidation unnecessarily, it was so high. The stench of people that just wanted to be control freaks. Guys, it was so high. It was very, very annoying and disappointing for people who call themselves young, famous, and African. It was as if their their insecurities just came out to play. And it was very disappointing. Say for a few people that stood true to their confidence, that stood true to what they believed in without tagging along. They did not become tag along, whereas other people became tag alongs. So let's start with Zari, right? As I have said earlier, Zari is unapologetically a boss lady. I saw a number of gangs up against her, especially from the women, and also Swanky Jerry. That one was just making noise. Swanky Jerry disgusted me in episode 6 on the blue train. Whatever he displayed there, it was very disgusting, very, very irritating. And I'm saying this based on the character he displayed on the show. I'm not saying it based on who he is in real life, right? But that was very disgusting. But we're not talking about Swanky Jerry right now. We're talking about Zari. Zari indeed is a boss lady. The way she carried herself, the way she handled conversations, the way she presented herself to be a very, very level-headed, full-blown woman. Yes, Zari's confidence, it turned out to be, was actually the problem that the likes of Nadia, Kanyi, and Annie had. Yes, they could not stand Zari's confidence. They could not stand a high self-esteem. It became a problem for them. They became intimidated. It made them feel like they were shrinking. Whereas Zari was basically, shining in her own self. She was basically shining in her glory. She was doing her own thing. Yes, she wasn't dragging anybody's husband. Like, she wasn't dragging anything from anybody. Even when at Diamond's dinner party, she was hinted that, oh, Diamond is actually making moves on Nadia. She had no issues about it. And just as she had explained, she and Diamond, they had a very beautiful co-parenting arrangement, and that was what worked for them. They regarded each other with so much respect, so much respect. So they did not have to get into each other's way. And according to Zari, what she really wanted for Diamond was for Diamond to find someone else that he would grow with. She was over and done with that business of growing with him, because after all, she grew with him. But what happened? He cheated on her, got the person pregnant. It went scandalous, it went viral. So she values her peace of mind. She values the family thingy going on between herself and Diamond, but they cannot function as lovers. They can only function perfectly as parents, which they are doing fine with. So guys, I saw so much in Zari. I loved the woman that she had built herself to become. And to be very honest, guys, it made me create a perspective, or rather a comparison, which is actually, sorry, this hair is deciding to kill my shine. So I automatically created a comparison between Zari and Annie, which I'm going to share after I finish analyzing Annie's character on the series. But you see, Zari, honestly, I give Zari thumbs up. Her confidence level is beautiful. Zari does not and did not have to shrink for any of those ladies to shine. No freaking way. And I love the fact that she's able to apologize when she sees that she was wrong. Yes, but then I also love the fact that she was able to stand her ground, when Kanyi was trying to manipulate her and gaslight her into apologizing for doing absolutely nothing wrong. I love the fact that she was smart enough to see that, okay, these people are actually trying to play mind games with me. So I do not have to apologize to anybody for any damn reason. And she did not apologize. And even when Annie, banned her from attending her vow renewal, her second wedding, she was not unbothered. She was not bothered, rather. And I loved the fact that she chose to spend time with her kids. Yes. So guys, honestly, I think in episode 1 and 2 that I first reviewed, I did not really get to see Zari's personality, yes, but from episode 3 to 7, I saw a woman that knew her left from her right, a woman that knew what she wanted. Listen, this is no PR for Zari. It is the way she carried herself and portrayed herself on the series. She carried herself with so much class, so much grace, and then I fully understood why she called herself a boss lady and why Diamond would constantly refer to her as the queen. And I also saw the reason why Andile was crazy, obsessed about Zari. Yes, I mean, she would definitely turn any woman's head around. So let me just pause there on the Zari analysis, because more of that is gonna definitely come up. Now moving on to Kanyi. Yeah, let me talk about Kanyi. So the first time I encountered Kanyi on the series, I was super, super wowed by her confidence. I loved the way she carried herself. I loved the way Kanyi spoke her mind without caring about what anybody thought. But then, guess what? From episode 3 to episode 7, I realized that Kanyi was kinda a coward. I'm talking about the character that she portrayed. She was like a coward, yes, and she was easily intimidated by people who showed the same level or even a higher level of confidence than her. I'm talking about Zari now. So if you had watched the beginning, I think it was in episode 2, when Kanyi and Zari, they had met each other again. Kanyi had talked about how both of them, they almost or rather dated the same man. The person was a billionaire, and even though she and that person were no longer together, Zari and that man, they were together. The man really liked Zari. That there was something about the way Zari treated her men and handled her men. She took care of them. She pampered them to the point that even when they are no longer together, those men, they still were in love with Zari. And then she also talked about how Zari was just very, very excellent at this boss lady thing. I'm just paraphrasing now, that Zari was so excellent at this boss lady thing that Zari literally won at everything that she does or that she did. So both of them had no choice but to become friends. Instead of two powerful and confident women fighting over men, they should just become friends. So at that point, when that introduction took place, I thought that, wow, okay, this is quite interesting. Seeing two women who chose to be friends and chose to be loyal to each other other than fighting over men. So that's another level of women supporting women. I loved their friendship. But then from episode 3 to 7, I discovered that Kanye was a control freak. Yeah, she was a control freak. She loves the idea of being in charge and the reality also of being the perfect host. She wants to be in charge. She wants to be the leader of the pack. She wants to be the one that everybody runs to when they have issues. She wants to be the one that has the audacity to advise people about their personal issues. But nobody in that pack dares, extend the same hand to her. I'm talking about all the things that she thinks she has the audacity to do. She does not want anybody else to have the audacity to do the same thing to her. Guys, I was so pissed and irritated with the way Kanyi was spreading wild, nasty gossips about Zari. Why? Just because she was actually intimidated by Zari's by Zari's confidence, by Zari's, unshakable personality. You cannot intimidate Zari. You cannot talk down on her. She will always stand up with her head tall. So Kanyi, I felt like Kanyi saw all of that and she was really intimidated. A very, very classic example was the Blue Train episode. Yeah. Remember, Kanyi had introduced Zari to the group as a friend, and everybody had been very, very nice to her, blah, blah, blah. Oh, and of course, she was Diamond's baby, Diamond's ex, but Diamond's baby mama. So the respect was already there. And she saw that. She saw that some people in the group, they were already gravitating towards Zari. So she probably could not put up with that. She decided to contest it in her own petty little way, throwing herself all high and mighty, making it look like, oh no, I'm the only person that has the audacity to be great and to be the boss in this group. But then, of course, Zari did not give her that space to do that effortlessly without having to be dramatic about it. So, as I said, a classic example was the Blue Train trip that Zari had organized for the team, because of course there was already so much tension between herself and Annie, which I am coming to. Yeah. And Zari had planned and prepared a very, very beautiful and excellent 2-day trip for the entire gang. Yes, for her, she wanted everybody to come together. She wanted to erase the misconceptions that they had about her. She wanted everybody to be on good terms. She wanted everybody to be fine. She wanted their family friendship relationship to come back. But then Annie, who she had also invited, regardless of the attention, had chosen to be dramatically late. In my opinion, not fashionably late. I'm sorry, because Annie was constantly dressing down to most of the occasions that she was invited to. And for Zari's own thing as well, I don't know if it was out of spite, she decided to also dress down for the occasion. So, moving forward, Annie was dramatically late. Yes. And then she came at the time when Zari was trying to give a speech. Now, ladies and gentlemen, listen, what Zari did, giving a speech, is not wrong. It is the appropriate thing to do. Courtesy demands that when you invite people to a gathering, you give a speech to appreciate them for even turning up, for even showing up, because you do not own their time. You do not own their schedules. So they can choose to come and choose not to show up at all. But if they do show up, courtesy demands, the rules of etiquette demand that you show appreciation. Give a speech. And that was exactly what Zari was trying to do. But guess what? Kanye was busy frowning, upset, angry about it. And she and her boyfriend Kudzi and what's her name, Annie, they were busy making faces. They were busy, like their body language reeked of so much negativity and toxicity. And it was not something they were even hiding. They were making it so obvious that they did not like the fact that Zari was giving a speech. What was the content of Zari's speech? I want to thank all of you for honoring my invitation because it is her invitation. It was not Kanye's invitation. It was not Annie's invitation. It was her invitation. She organized the trip. So there was absolutely nothing wrong in her giving that speech and saying, I want to thank all of you for honoring my invitation for coming on this trip. There was absolutely nothing wrong in it. But guess what? Kanye decided to pick offense in it. What was that offense again? She said that guys, honestly, even thinking about it is so annoyingly ridiculous. But let me just go ahead and talk about it. What was that offense? That, oh, why is Zari even bothering to give a speech? That it's as if Zari wants to be the leader of the gang. She was just giving flimsy excuses. I'm sure that for those of you that have watched the show, you recall that reaction that she was giving during her confessionals. It was completely unnecessary. It was petty. It was spiteful. It was irrational of her to even think that way. And guys, I understood that the only reason for that was because she was intimidated. Zari had pulled up a good plan, a good getaway for the group. It was beautiful. It was beautifully planned. A first-class train with first-class coach compartment for each and every single member of that group to feel comfortable and to revel and bask in luxury. There was absolutely nothing wrong with that arrangement. And Kanye probably felt jealous that, oh my God, it should have been me that was standing in Zari's shoes right now. Because everybody loved it. Everybody loved the plan. It was a first-class luxury plan. And then she was giving some very, very off mood body language that was very, very nasty. Guys, the stench, I could perceive the stench of that toxicity all the way in my apartment. I was disgusted. I was disappointed because I did not expect that from Kanye. I felt like, no, Kanye, you are bigger than this. Maybe the organizers of the series or the makers of the series instructed all of them to act the way they did. Guys, I don't know and I will never know except they come out to disclose that information. But whatever I saw on the show that Kanye was doing and Annie was also doing, that was disgusting. And Kudzi, Kanye's boyfriend, was also making a fuss. And I'm like, dude, what is your problem? You're a man for crying out loud. Not trying to be gender biased here, but if Kanye is doing that, then what is your own struggle with Zari? Why are you giving off faces, funny faces? It was so annoying, So I love the fact that Zari told them, was asking, are you guys okay? What's wrong? You're making faces. And they were still making faces. And guess what? On that trip, Kanye decided to manipulate Annie. No, not even Annie. Kudzi and what's his name? Swanky Jerry into taking their side. And it was very, very disgusting. And you know what? I don't even blame the Kudzi and Swanky Jerry. Because, of course, Kudzi is Kanye's lover. So he would definitely take Kanye's side. Myopically, of course. And then Swanky Jerry, nah. From episode 3 to episode 7, he just proved himself to be a kiss ass. A bootlicker to Annie. Your friend is obviously messing up. Your friend is tripping. You cannot call her to order Instead, you started shouting on if guys, how many of you watched that scene when Swanky Jerry was shouting? Of course, they all made a scene and blah blah blah. And of course, Zari felt bad about it. And then she took up the conversation with Kayleigh and what's his name? Naked DJ. And those ones too, they noticed what was happening. And Zari, instead of keeping it to herself, she tried to bring the conversation to the table and said, please, I want to address what happened. What happened? What's going on? People were making faces. And before we knew it, the Kanye's clique with Annie, they ganged up and, oh, you guys enjoy your evening, blah, blah, blah. And they walked out on the others. And Zari was not deterred. She tried to go ahead with the Gatsby themed dinner that she had planned for the group. And guess what? She was in that cabin on the train where the party was to hold. She was playing games. Kanye and her man walked into that place without they did not even say so much as a hi, hello to their hosts. That was rude. That was uncouth, if that's the way they call it. That was very, very crude and unrefined of those two people. They walked into that coach disregarding and disrespecting the fact that, oh, this person, Zari, is the host of this trip. She's the host. You should at least courtesy demand. You show acknowledgement for the presence of your host. She did not say anything. She just walked in like she owns the entire train. Walked in, sat down, and she and her man. I'm sorry to say, but that her man was acting like a child. If your woman did not say hello to the host, they not train you well. You don't know you're supposed to say hello to the host. He walked in with her. He was trying to show loyalty, of course. And then Annie walked in. Once again, not saying hello to the host. I'm like, you people are so freaking rude. And it was very, very annoying to see. Guys, I was boiling as I was watching this scene. And then Swanky Jerry too came in, went to go and form gang. And he was not trying to act like the bigger person. I do not like the tension in this couch. I think I'm going to address it. Dude carried wine bottle. I want to talk to everybody. I need their attention. And then they gave him attention. Guys, even me that was in my apartment, I was paying attention and see if Swanky Jerry had something sensible to say. And I was paying attention, but guess what? Dude started blowing off like the train horn. You know how the train makes the noise? Boom, boom, boom. Dude was just shouting like a siren, wailing like a crying train. He was just shouting. And I'm like, dude, you're making noise. You're not even communicating. If you had something to say, go ahead and say it. But no, Swanky Jerry decided to be making so much noise. Guys, that thing was I was so irritated. And I love the way that, what's his name now? Naked DJ addressed him. That dude, if you want to talk about it, we are going to talk about it as adults, not like this. But dude was just making noise, blowing off. The part that was even very ridiculous was where he was saying, we don't have to shout. But you are the one shouting. You're saying we don't have to shout. Dude, carry your fashion board and sit down. But was just shouting, making a lot of noise. Guys, I think I was actually analyzing Kanye's character. Yes. So I'm trying not to deviate, but I think I have already. But I'm just going to wrap up here that, you see, all those things that Kanye displayed on that train, it was gaslighting. It was manipulation. She felt intimidated and she took it all out, or rather, instigated the entire gang to gang up against Zari. And I felt like that was very, very petty and immature of her. Yes. But it was very strategic of her because she wanted to stamp her authority, her status in the clique. And it was very ironical as well that she was trying to preach the gospel of, in this group, we are not celebrities, we are friends. In this group, there is no leader. Zari were trying to be the leader. But what she was doing, she was playing mind games on the others. She was indirectly adjusting into the role of, I am the leader of this pack, nobody can take my place. And the others were too myopic, or rather cowards, to see it. But I loved the fact that of all of them that were present, it was only Naked DJ that saw through all of that and attacked her for it. And also there was the other part that what's her name? Kanyi was like, oh, Naked DJ has been having a lot of issues in his relationship with Kayleigh, his girlfriend. She wants to go and find out what's going on. She wants to go and talk. She's always putting herself forward. as the one that cares about everybody in the group. But guess what? She went to Naked DJ, trying to act like the saint, and I love the way Naked DJ blasted her. Like, you are in no position to psychoanalyze me. You're in no position to advise me because you are worse. And then he blasted her, and she ended up crying, trying to play the cheap Black Mirror. I was trying to die because I care about you. I love the way he told her the truth. He called a spade a spade. I said, you, for every single day you are in a different Lamborghini, and then you call yourself my sister, but you never introduced your man to me. You came and brought him to your ball like a review, a big review, like a pregnancy review or something. And then she could not talk. Oh, I even forgot to add that Kanye, during her confessionals about the train scene, that was complaining that, oh, Zari did not have to give a speech. But guess what? From episode 1, Kanye threw a ball, inviting the who is who in the South African society, in the whole African continent. And then she gave a powerful speech. It was that speech that they used to introduce the entire show. We are Africans. When we want to show up, we turn up. That was a big speech, and I loved it. I loved it. It was powerful. So now, why did she have a problem with Zari giving a speech at a small gathering? She gave a speech, and guess what, guys? I think it was in episode 7 or episode 6 that we got to find out that Zari actually gave 7 speeches during her own ball. Oh, it was Naked DJ that actually disclosed that information. That why are you upset that someone who put up an event is giving a speech? You, during your own event, you gave 7 freaking speeches and people paid attention. Nobody interrupted you. Everybody let you shine. Everybody gave you the floor to shine, to elevate yourself. But now you are here, you're being all petty, getting upset unnecessarily. Guys, to be very honest, the fact that, what's his name now? Qunton, that's Naked DJ, was able to stand his ground, call a spade, and shut up Kanye at every time she was trying to act like she knew better than everybody. He became my favorite male character of the series. I love that guy. Although he has some very, very twisted notions about relationships, but I love him. He was simply the best male cast for me. Yes, I love people who are very, very frank, straightforward. You hit the nail on the head without bootlicking on anybody. Yes, and he did that, disregarding the fact that he and Kanye's relationship has come a long way from 20 years back. For him, this friendship that we have, this brotherhood, sisterhood that we have, I'm going to have to tell you the truth, whether you like it or not. We have to say it the way it is, and that was exactly what he did. So guys, to be very honest, that was Kanye's character. She was very, very conniving. She was an instigator, and she gossiped a lot, spreading false narratives about Zari. And even the Annie that she was acting like she was Annie's friend and sister, she had said some nasty things about Annie as well. So sis, why are you acting like a saint? Now, Kanye ceased to be my fave of the show from episode 3 to episode 7. She did not act well. She was just very, very unnecessarily petty. And I was disappointed that for a woman who is as powerful and confident as her could allow herself to be so easily intimidated. What is her fear? What is her fear? Anyways, let's not dwell too much on Kanye. Moving on to Nadia. Let me drink water before I talk about Nadia. Yes, talking about Nadia, guys, as I was in my house, as I was watching that series, there were times when I would turn around and I'm looking for a king, a spiritual king. Let me throw it into the screen now and whip Nadia. I know it sounds ridiculous, but Nadia was so annoying. Jesus Christ. Nadia was so annoying. Hey, God. Guys, hey, God. That's the word. There's no other way to describe Nadia. Nadia is simply annoying on the series. I don't know any of these people. I'm going to put a disclaimer out there again. I don't know any of these people in real life, all right? So whatever I'm saying right now is based off of the personalities that they portrayed on the show, all right? Guys, Nadia was nothing short of annoying. When someone is very, very annoying, indecisive, does not have a mind of her own, a very, very shallow-minded individual. Nadia was simply all of that. Yes, she did not have a mind of her own. Her confidence level, na gra gra, agidi agidi. I'm gonna take off my wig. I'm gonna fight. Sit down there. Confidence is not all about shouting. Like Swanky Jerry that was thinking his confidence level came with shouting. Nah, confidence is not loud. Vocally, of course. Confidence is not a shouting spree. Confidence is not showing that you are ratchet, that you can remove your wig and fight. Confidence is what Zari displayed on the show. You know your worth. You know you're a queen. So you don't have to prove it to anybody, but simply by your sense of reasoning and by your actions, by your grace, the way you carry yourself with so much class and importance. Confidence is not what Nadia did. Nadia, in my opinion, was just a tag along friend. I remember when I reviewed episode 2 of the series and somebody commented that, oh, Nadia was a tag along. I contested it. I said, no, Nadia was not a tag along. Nadia was simply floating to where the wind took her. But guys, guess what? I have seen the light. My eyes are open now. To that person that dropped that comment that time, listen, I am saying apologies to you. You saw it before I did. I saw it. From episode 3 to 7, Nadia was a tag along. She was a bootlicking friend. You know that kind of friend that whether you are mad, they want to support you. And she was they called that the ride or die culture. I'm sorry. I don't want to be a senseless ride or die. I don't want to be an irrational ride or die. I want to be a ride or die whose friend would do something nasty and I would tell my friend the truth. Or I want to be that ride or die whose friend would say a lot of gossip to her and then she will not jump into conclusions. She will do her own findings if she can. Confirm for herself before going ahead to start dropping verdicts here and there. That was exactly what Nadia was not doing. Kanye obviously was the one frolicking with the other ladies, bringing the gist, bringing the gossip to her. Instead of her to calm down and observe, since she does not have a personal relationship with all the ladies, observe or find out for yourself. She was just taking everything that Kanye was telling her, hook, line, and sinker. She was playing the role of that headless chicken friend. You know, a headless chicken. You are just taking everything they're telling you, hook, line, and sinker. You are not doing your own findings. It was just very, very annoying. And the part that really, really pissed me off was when Kanye rather, was telling Nadia that, Zari spoke to Annie's man without Annie's permission. Annie lost it. Nadia just jumped into conclusion. I knew I did not like her from the very first day I saw her. I knew she came with drama. I'm like, shut the hell up. You don't know shit because you were not there. You don't know. It was so annoying. And the other part where during Annie's bridal shower, of course, what's her name now? Kanyi was the one that hosted that one. So I saw her, she was in her element. She was all over the place. Oh, I planned this, I planned that. Because I'm the host today, I'm not going to be upset with anybody. I'm going to be good. I saw her in her element. And then at Annie and Two Faces vows renewal, she gave the speech. And I'm like, Kanye, why did it have to be you that gave the speech? Zari was simply giving a speech at her own gathering, and you had issues with it. But now we came to planning, being the host of the gatherings of the gang, and you are reveling in your glory, you're basking in your element, and nobody is fighting you over it. Nobody is dragging you over it. So why can't you give other people space to shine and do whatever they want to do? Why do you have to have issues with it? But then when it's time for you to do it, you don't see anything wrong in it. But I'm not talking about Kanye now. I'm talking about Nadia. During Annie's bridal shower, Kanye, of course, Nadia rather had said, oh, I'm not going to go. And if I see Zari there, blah, 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 she was already preparing herself for the fight. She was even castigating, what's her name? Kanye, that why didn't Kanye slap Zari? Why didn't Kanye do this and that? And then she went for the bridal shower. And when she went there, she was so freaking insensitive and unreasonable, irrational even, to have even brought about the episode of the Blue Train event. She was not there. She only heard information from Kanye, of course, who had twisted the entire narrative and made Zari automatically the villain. So instead of her to just allow Annie to have a day, allow Annie to enjoy her bridal shower without any drama, because of course all the other ladies, they had been avoiding to bring up the conversation. Instead of her to allow Annie to enjoy her space, to enjoy her time, she decided to annoyingly bring up the conversation. Guys, I was pissed. She brought it up, and of course, Kanye was looking for an apology from Zari. Guys, that was the peak of gaslighting that Kanye displayed on the show. I was livid. And I loved the fact that Zari maintained her calm. She kept her cool. She was unfazed. She did not even flinch. And I love the fact, most importantly, that she did not apologize, because there was absolutely nothing for her to apologize. Yes, there was nothing for her to apologize for. And then Kanye was talking about, oh, and when are you going to let down your guard? In this group, we are friends. We are not this. Even Swanky Jerry was there. Guys, listen, in conclusion about Nadia's personality, Nadia does not have a mind of her own. And she needs to grow up. Because all of that rubbish that she was displaying on the show was just so childish. Yes. And I'm saying this as her being a character on the show. Maybe that is what she was instructed to do. Maybe that was a script that was given to her. I don't know. But that was just very, very, I don't know, it was just very, very petty. Now, moving on to Annie. Let's talk about Annie for a bit. Let me wet my throat before I talk about Annie. So, from episode 1, Annie had not failed to hide her insecurities, especially when it came to her husband. And in episode 1, I was kind of upset, like, why are you being so conspicuous with your insecurities? But then the thing about insecurities is very loud. Yeah, people who are insecure, their insecurities are very loud, because at every given opportunity, they project it on everything and anybody around them that they feel is shining too much. At every given opportunity, they need speak conversations, they need speak compliments, even something as ordinary and basic as compliments, they need speak it. Why? Because they are looking for insults. They are looking for people, for something people said that is not true in quote about them. So they are constantly nitpicking. And so in that regard, they water down their own value. They water down their self-esteem. And that's why I said insecurities, it's very loud. When you see the way some people dress, you know that they are insecure. When you see the way people talk, sometimes you know they are insecure. When you see the way people carry themselves, the way they project their insecurities on others, you just automatically know that they are insecure. And that was exactly what Annie kept on doing on the show. And you know one thing, I'm just going to say this, yeah? The Annie that is very, very lovable and sweet with her family, I absolutely love and appreciate that woman. But you see the Annie that is with her gang, nah, I don't like that woman. I don't like that particular Annie, because I feel like she's just unnecessarily toxic. I'm sorry, but she's just that way. When Annie is with Two-Face, on the show, when Annie is with her daughters, when she's with Swanky doing their friend thing, I like her because she's fun. She's happy. She's exciting. But imagine, guys, and that this is to prove to you that Annie's insecurities tends to project it on every woman that is more confident than her. Take, for instance, the first time that she met Kanyi in episode 1. She was already judgmental, judging the way Kanyi organized her ball. Oh, I was expecting to see bling, 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 but there's nothing here. I was not seeing anything. And then the food came. Oh, this food, I'm vegetarian. I'm trying to go vegetarian. The food is not well cooked. I can see the redness inside the food. She was complaining about the food. Oh, what else? She was just being judgmental about as well about the way Kanye raised her 15-year-old daughter. Oh, why would you leave your daughter in an apartment all by herself? That is not how a mother should be. Me, I cannot leave my own daughters like that. She was already judgmental. She and Kanye were locking horns. But guess what? It was in episode 1 that Kanye had found Annie's weakness. And she decided to weaponize Annie's weakness. What did she do? she walked into Annie's emotional purgational conversation with Andile at the bar. Oh, the things Two-Face has done to me, it has broken me, it has made me this and that. Annie was really forgetting her emotions. And guess what? Kanye was there. The same Kanye that Annie had really washed down, castigated, brutally, been judgmental to. Kanye sat down there. She soaked in all of Annie's secrets, all of Annie's vulnerability, all of Annie's weakness. And guess what she did? From episode 3, she decided to use it against Annie. How? By playing the role of Annie's new friend and manipulating Annie to see Zari as the villain and not herself. Guys, hey, it was crazy. It was wild. And Kanye said it herself that she now owns Annie's secret and Annie's weakness in her hands. And that was what she was doing. She was using it to play on Annie's emotions. And then Annie was now feeling like, oh my God, Kanye is my friend. Kanye loves me. I was just looking at both of them in episode 7 towards the end of the series, and I was laughing. I said, I'm waiting for season 2. I cannot wait to see Kanye turn on Annie because that's going to definitely happen, I'm sure. But we're talking about Kanye once again. We're talking about Annie. So, as I was saying, Annie projected her insecurities on Kanye first in episode 1 and 2. And then, in that same episode 2, if you all recall what happened at Diamond's dinner party, what happened? Two-Face, Annie's husband, had called. And then she had turned the phone. I can't remember what happened, but it turned out that Two-Face had been notified. Oh, Diamond! I said that, oh, Zari is here. And Two-Face instantly wanted to talk to Zari. Now, what I'm saying right now is based on what we saw on the show, right? Remember, this is an edited show. So a lot of things must have happened and they must have edited a lot of things. Now, I'm saying this because much later in episode 6 and 7, Annie was claiming that at that dinner gathering, she was telling Swanky Jerry, she was telling Kanyi that Two-Face had spoken to each and every single person at the gathering. That it wasn't only Zari that Two-Face wanted to talk to. I'm sorry to say, but what we saw on the show, that was a lie. A blatant lie from Annie. It was a lie because what we saw was Two-Face talking briefly with Annie, ignoring Annie, and clamoring to speak with Zari. So even when Two-Face was speaking with Diamond, he was still clamoring to speak with Zari. Now, Zari was uncomfortable about it all. She did not want to speak with Two-Face. But then Konnie demanded that she did. And so she spoke with Two-Face. And even when the phone was given back to Annie, Annie was still asking, oh, how did you, baby, you did not tell me you knew Zari. And Two-Face still dropped a message before the call ended. Oh, is this send all my love to, is this Zari? I've been wanting, but was still sending regards to Zari. That made Zari uncomfortable. Now, instead of Annie to handle a problem with her husband, if you are skeptical about the relationship between your husband, talk to your husband. No, she decided to come and be asking Zari, how did you know my husband again? You didn't tell me you knew my husband. Did you know this Zari before? Did you just meet? So she was not lying. I felt like she was lying to the other people to justify her actions, that Two-Face wanted to speak with everybody. I said, but what we saw on the show was not the case. That's a lie. Two-Face was eager and clamoring to speak with Zari and not everybody. And then fast forward to after Annie and Two-Face, they had their dinner. Two-Face reproposed to Annie, and Annie came with Two-Face the next day or wherever, whenever in the next scene to announce everything to the gang. Guys, we all saw it. I mean, it was not a hidden request. It was obvious. It was very, very conspicuous. Zari had asked for Annie's permission to go and have a conversation with Two-Face. And Annie had wholeheartedly agreed. She was like, oh, yes, it's fine. She even made a joke. She said, baby, don't walk behind her. Walk in front of her. And guys, guess what? I understand the baby. All those things that Annie was saying. She was actually speaking my dialect. She was making a joke out of it that, oh my God, Zari's bonbon is big. That was what she was insinuating. So she made a joke out of it. Now, guys, we all watched that scene. Zari's agenda of having taken permission from Annie to speak with Two-Face was to clear the air. She was telling Two-Face that your wife was uncomfortable with the way you wanted to speak to me constantly during that phone call. And it made her feel somehow. And Two-Face, she did not know that we have a business, relationship. So Zari was like trying to tell Two-Face, to tell. Oh, sorry, guys. Zari was trying to tell Two-Face to have a conversation with Annie about it, to let Annie know that they don't have anything, they've never smashed, they've never banged. And Two-Face was laughing that, you want to give her a headache, you want to give her a heart attack. Because he knows his wife. He knows that if he tells her that, she's going to have a panic attack or something. And then, just to justify her own self, to prove to Annie that, listen, there's nothing between me and Two-Face, she went ahead and called Annie to come and join them in that conversation. And when Annie came, she was trying to talk about it, but guess what? Annie started lying. That no, she wasn't asking. Oh no, she was nice about it. And Zari was like, no, don't lie. That was Zari giving Annie the opportunity to express her grievance with Two-Face. But guess what? Annie was trying to play the perfect wife. Annie was trying to act like, no, I wasn't offended, blah, blah, blah. And that was where another major problem started. Yeah. And then Annie also lost the opportunity to ask the vital question to Two-Face. How did you get to know about Zari? She also lost the vital opportunity to address what Two-Face did because it was embarrassing. Imagine my husband calling in a public gathering. He has not really spoken to me that much, and the phone is on speaker, and then he hears that there's a celebrity there and is tagging like, oh, give the phone to the celebrity. It's embarrassing. Two-Face embarrassed Annie right there. So the person that Annie was supposed to transfer aggression to, her anger to, was Two-Face, not Zari. Because Zari obviously was unbothered. She was not even caring about whatever was going on between those two people. So it was very, very annoying. And then Annie decided to spread that bad vibe to Swanky Jerry, spread it to Kanye. Kanye spread it to Nadia. Nadia spread it to Andile. It was toxic. A very, very toxic situation. So in my opinion, what did I say about Annie? I said that she was very, very insecure. She projected herself to be very, very insecure, projected her insecurities on Zari a lot, and also even on Kanye in episode 1 and 2. And then she ended up playing the victim card, which was very, very annoying. She was constantly playing the victim card. Oh, because I'm the one that just got proposed to. Yes, you think you have a right to say whatever the hell you wanted to say. And I felt that she was also rude. In line with Kanye, on the train, your host is trying to make a speech. Thank you and appreciate you for showing up, and then you were making faces. That was completely unnecessary. If you did not want to come, you should have sat your ass at home. You shouldn't have even shown up at all. But hey, maybe it's part of the drama that the makers of the series wanted us to see. And it was quite entertaining, no doubt, yes. But once again, I remind you all that I'm only reacting to how the cast comported and carried themselves on the show. So no offense, all right? Don't pick offense. I'm only saying what I saw. Now, moving on, I've talked about Annie, all right? Let's talk about Swanky Jerry. Guys, I'm going to read what I wrote because if I say it the way I want to say it, it's going to be too raw. Swanky is malicious and hides behind his carefreeness. Yes. You see the way he came from the show. I'm the fashion god. I want to oh, the fashion icon and all of that. Yes, that was Swanky Jerry being all carefree, being all sweet, being all nice, being the friendly guy, being the chill, the zen guy. But guess what? He deeply portrayed his maliciousness on that train. Yeah, on that train trip, he portrayed how malicious he could be. Imagine him, just like Nadia, inheriting Kanye's beef with Zari and even Annie. Because remember, when Kanye was having issues with Annie, Nadia had automatically inherited Kanye's beef. That was the exact same thing that Swanky Jerry did. Yeah, he was in fact, he automatically wasted no time in inheriting Annie's beef and even Kanye's beef with Zari. And I felt like that was very, very childish. very, very emotionally unintelligent. It was very, very annoying. You see that scene of him shouting on the train. To be very honest, I just wish that somebody could have just taken him and thrown him out of the train. Like, dude, you're making so much noise. He was making so much unnecessary noise. And yeah, someone just commented he's a narcissist. Yes, he portrayed himself to be such. Your friend was tripping, and he was obviously tripping, and he was being obviously petty and unnecessarily, I don't know, vindictive. Yes, she was being unnecessarily vindictive because Zari apologized to her, but she refused to accept it, even though she was the one in the wrong, lying that she did not give Zari the approval to have a conversation with her husband, lying blatantly, something that we saw on the show. And then Zari still laid down her pride and apologized, and she was not having it. And Swanky Jerry was being a loyal friend, a myopically loyal friend. That was him being so myopic, guys, was so annoying. So what else did I write? I said that he inherited Annie's beef with Zari. Yes, he lacks a good communication skill. Yes, by yeah, that is it. He lacked a good communication skill. Obviously, he noticed the toxic vibe on the train and he wanted to be the bigger person. But instead of being the bigger person, he ended up being the tiniest little man in the room. By shouting. When has shouting ever communicated with people? And this is what people don't really understand. Communication is not about making noise. When you're communicating with somebody and your body language is off, and you are shouting, all of that is called noise in communication. There's no information being passed. There's no message being passed. Communication is when people talk via any form of maybe signal, body language, maybe words or sound. Yes, you have that communication. You pass on a message, you pass on an information or something like that. The moment the other person is able to receive it, right? The moment they are receptive, the moment they get it, then they also give their feedback, then automatically communication has taken place. You see all of that noise that Swanky Jerry was making. He was basically making noise. There was no communication whatsoever. And yes, once again, we're going to allude it to probably that is the drama that the makers of the series wanted. Yes, and they did it right. But we're talking about it now based on the reaction video. That was noise. And it was unnecessary noise. Yes, and he was just inheriting beef, basically tagging Kayleigh, Naked DJ, and Zari as the villain, while the others are the good people. And guys, it was all thanks to Kanyi, because Kanyi completely manipulated that situation, made it look like Zari was the bad person in their midst. What else did I say? I said he's a killer, the bootmaker. Yes. He also acted as a coward because instead of him to channel his energy, his aggression, his anger towards Kanyi and Annie, who obviously spoilt the mood of the trip because everybody was actually excited when they got on the train. The moment the mood went from 100 to 0 back was when Kanyi and Annie started making faces. So he was a coward on the series. That's what I think. Now moving on to Naked DJ. I already said it that he turned out to be my favorite male character of the series. Yes, and the reason for that is because he's very, very honest, he's genuine, he calls his spade a spade, he's not afraid of anybody, he says it the way it is, and he was able to set Kanyi right when Kanyi was trying to bring all that nonsense to him. He was also very, very open and transparent. I love the fact that in his relationship with Kayleigh, he was very, very transparent. He was very, very upfront with her. Kayleigh was obviously suffocating him with attention. She was obviously suffocating him, with I want to be together with you. He needed the space. And I love the fact that he was very, very open about it, even though the truth somehow sounds brutal from him. But the fact that he's not a bootlicker in that group, I love him for that. And then moving on to Andile. Guys, I love the fact that Andile thinks with his heart and his head at the same time. I love the affection he has for Zari. I love the fact that he did not follow the crowd by keeping malice with Zari. I love the fact that he did not inherit anybody's beef with Zari. Yes, remember, what's her name now? Nadia was trying to instigate and to plant that seed of discord in Andile's mind towards Zari, but then he was not having it. But then, one thing I am definitely looking forward to is season 2. I am looking forward to seeing how Andile is going to approach or broach the conversation of wanting to have a romantic relationship with Zari to Diamond, because that was where the show ended. Yes, but overall, I love Andile. Yes, although the guy is crazy, he's cuckoo. Yes, because I cannot imagine how a man has two baby mamas who are actually gorgeous. By the way, guys, did you see his baby mama? Especially the second one. Chai! If I were a man, okay, people will say that it's not all about the looks, it's all about the personality as well. Yes, but you see that his second baby mama, gosh, she's bomb. She's beautiful. She's hot. And it explains why his children are also very beautiful. Their mothers are actually very beautiful. But I love him. He's a gentleman to the core. And as I said, I love the fact that he has a mind of his own. He never inherits anybody's beef. He's always very, very upfront and straightforward with all of the individuals in the cast. And then, last but not the least, Kayleigh. Listen, one word for Kayleigh. Kayleigh is a coward, a big one. No, a little coward. She's a coward, and I'll tell you why. She's a coward because of every time that there's a drama between Annie and Kanye, between this person and that person, she has no mind of her own. She tries to portray herself as the neutral person, Switzerland. I'm in the middle. But then you see that one minute she's taking Annie's side, the next minute she's saying bad things about Zari, the next minute she's supporting Zari, but she does not have the balls to speak her mind in the midst of everybody. And I think that is because she's afraid of offending Kanye. Remember, Kanye is like a godmother to Naked DJ. That's Qunton. Kanye is Qunton's friend, brother, sister. They've known each other 20 years ago. Kanye knows almost everything about Qunton. Kanye knows about, excuse me, Qunton's two failed marriages. She knows almost everything about Qunton's relationships and all. And because she's madly in love with Qunton, I feel like she's not really playing that role. She's not really putting herself in that position to call Kanye to order because she does not want to fall short of Kanye's favor. She wants Kanye to put in good words about her to Qunton so that they will get married. That is the way I see it. So I just feel like for this season 1 of Young, Famous, and African, Kayleigh was just a huge coward in the group. But when it comes to Qunton, her mouth is wide. Wow. She is not shy of expressing her emotions, expressing her disappointment, expressing her expectations of him. But when it came to the drama in the group, she was just basically cowardly about it. Very, very cowardly about it. Now, this is where I'm going to stop with my reanalysis of the cast, guys. I mean, if you want to know why I am sounding this way, you totally need to watch the series. Then you understand. And mind you, this is not the first analysis I am doing about the cast. I have done an analysis before. After this live stream, I'm going to link that up in the comment section or rather in the description of this video, all right? But basically, I mean, the people like Kanyi, Kayleigh, Annie, Nadia, they really disappointed me. Yes, they really disappointed me, especially Kanyi, because I was really rooting for her. But listen, overall, I loved season 1. It was a great show. I loved the drama. I loved the instigations that Kanyi was doing left, right, and center. And I also loved the way Zari carried herself. And I also loved the fact that everybody sharp brought their own drama to the table. I loved it. Let me see. So I'm going to just go ahead now and drop the link to this live stream in the comment section below. If you want to express yourself about how you viewed the show, please click on it and let's keep this conversation moving now. So who wants to go first? If you want to share your thoughts about this show, Young, Famous, and African, please go ahead, click on the link, and let's talk about it because I am done with my own analysis. Okay? So If you want to share your thoughts, click on the link and let's discuss. Now, whilst I'm waiting for anybody that wants to join me and discuss the show, let me just quickly go ahead and read your comments. So Kaba's Chick said, Kanyi felt displaced as the queen bee of the group. She was projecting her insecurity on Zari. That's just the best way to put it. That was it. That was exactly what she was doing. Kaba said, Andile is well spoken, very put together. I love him. Same here. I love him. I love the way he says what he wants to say without bias. Kaba said, naked and his hilarious jokes. Gosh, I love that man. I love his jokes. I love his wit, his sense of humor. I love it. It's very, very attractive. I find him very, very attractive. Yes, there's this, I don't know, but let me just keep quiet. But I like what he represented on the show. Vicky Mama said, Hi Glory, Vicky from Korea. I love the show and your channel so much as the community will keep inspiring. Thank you so much, Vicky. Thank you so much. Tammy Oyo said, Love Annie on the show. Without her, the show would be boring. Yes, yes. I mean, I love Annie. As I have said, I love Annie when she's with her family. But when she's being Annie, being all petty and insecure, I don't like that Annie. Yeah, Tammy still said, I agree with her daughter not living by herself because 14 and 15 are the years teens can be naive and sexually tempted. Oh, yes, 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 yes. I mean, of course. Yeah, but then she does not really know the tea with regards to Kanyi and her baggage. Let me see. Seeing your comments. Andrea said, Glory, my girl on that series is Zari. Her confidence level amazes me, and I love the way she's co-parenting with Diamond. As for Annie, I'm just so sad seeing how bitter she is. And you know, there's something I was having this conversation about the series with my friend this morning, and there was something we both actually agreed on. That listen, a diamond ring or a proposal from Two-Face is not going to it's not going to give Annie any form of healing or closure that she deserves. You see that healing and closure that she deserves from all the things that Two-Face, her husband, has done to her. It's not going to give her that closure that she needs. I think she, especially, or both of them, she and the husband, on the show, I'm not talking about real life now because I don't know about this people's life yet, but on the show, I think they need therapy. I think they need to have a lot of conversation. I think Annie needs an alone time with herself. I think she needs to ask herself that question of, am I doing the right thing? Yes, by now they've already done their reunion. And listen, guys, I'm not saying that Annie should break up with Two-Face, no. But it is a decision to make. I think from what we saw on the show, from the way she talked about Two-Face, and obviously from the private conversations she's had with each and every single one of the ladies, it's obvious that when she's having private conversations with them, she blasts Two-Face a lot. She probably says a lot of things about him, probably expresses her grievance towards him, probably still has not found closure from all the hurtful things that he did to her and still does to her. You know? So I feel like if she does not heal properly, whether on the show, I don't know, guys, she's going to continue projecting her insecurities and her vindictiveness to the rest of the people, other than the person that is actually contributing to her hurt and her pain. Because it's very obvious that she has a lot to say to this man. It's very obvious that she's still hurt. It's very obvious that somehow she wishes that all the things Two-Face did, it never happened. It's still very obvious that she's still living in that shadow of all of that hurt. And she has not found closure. And listen, this is something people don't really understand. Money does not really buy closure. Material things does not really buy closure. You see, hurt that comes from the heart. Hurt, okay, let me put it, I'm trying to put it in a nicer way. It's like the things on the show. I'm talking about the show, guys. I'll remind you all. On the show, it's like the things that Two-Face has done to Annie. It has completely damaged her mindset. It has completely damaged her self-esteem. It has damaged the way she sees herself. It's like a woman that has so much pride in herself, a woman that sees so much value in herself, that carries herself with so much grace. And then one man now comes into the picture and rubbishes you, makes you feel like you're not good enough, makes you feel like you are worthless, makes you feel like you are not valuable. Now in Annie's case, it's like Two-Face, after all they've been through together as teenagers, as young adults dating, he goes ahead and has 3 kids. Was it 3 or 2? With another woman at different points in time. You are dating Annie, you go back, you impregnate the woman will born pikin, you come back to Annie, you date again, you go back, off and on, off and on, off and on. I feel like all of that drama, all of that inconsistency in her relationship with her husband, it completely damaged her self-esteem on the show, because I don't know these people's life in the real world. It completely damaged her self-esteem to a point of no return. And the thing about people who are damaged is this: people who are damaged, they never see anything good in other people who are not really damaged like them. The thing about people that are damaged, to the extent that Annie is damaged, is that they see everything wrong in other people. Another thing is this: I feel like Annie sees all what she wants to be in Zari, and it drives her crazy. And this is the part where I have to talk about that comparison that I was doing between Annie and Zari. This is the deal. Annie and Zari, they have similar stories. And to be very honest, watching the series, I was actually expecting both of them to share a bond. Because in that clique, it is Annie and Zari that can actually relate on a more personal level, woman to woman, mother to mother, lover to lover, sister to sister, as people that have been dealt the same level of blow, the same impact of blow that their men has dealt to them. Their stories are very, very similar. Very, very similar. What is Zari's story? Oh, she was in a relationship before, right? And then she had 3 kids from that person. And then I don't know if she met Diamond later. I don't know if I'm mixing up the story. Correct me if I'm wrong. But Zari was with Diamond, and Diamond became this very, very huge deal. Or it probably was already a huge deal, but she obviously contributed to his stardom, right? And then they wanted this beautiful life for each other. And before we knew it, I think they already had kids, guys. I'm not sure. I'm probably making up the story. But then, in Diamond's own case, Diamond had gone ahead to have an affair and also impregnate another public figure that is like Zari. And now he did not even have the balls to come and confess to her. But because the thing had blown up and become scandalous, he had gone ahead to a radio interview to go and expose himself. So it was like that was very, very disrespectful. I mean, you cheated on me, did this, impregnated person, okay, that's more disrespectful. But then instead of you to come and talk to me about it. And from all what I have seen about Zari on the show, Zari is a very, very level-headed woman. She's very, very reasonable. To the point that I don't think there's any way that if Diamond had wanted to have that conversation with Zari, I don't think Zari would have refused. I mean, look at now, they're no longer together, but they are co-parenting in the most amazing way. And she still respects him. She respects him. She buys him gifts in appreciation for taking care of their kids and her. And she respects him so much that even at the end of the series, when Andile showed up at her apartment, unannounced, she showed remorse for it. That no, you should not be here. It's disrespectful because the father of my kids is here. That is how respectful. That is how a queen should be. So that is Zari's story. In Annie's case, we know the deal. She has been with this guy for 9 years. In the course of the 9 years, and the guy went off and on, impregnated other women, came back, blah, 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 that kind of thing. Both of them, they have similar stories. They have kids for a man that they really loved. Now, in Annie's case, she put aside all the odds and married the man for love, right? She married the man. But then in that marriage, she does not have peace of mind. Why? Because she's been scarred. She's been scarred by the man's action. She's been scarred and she's been damaged by it. But she chose to stay in the marriage. For Zari, she chose to walk away and chose the line of a perfect co-parenting arrangement with the man, other than marrying the man and being trapped in that kind of union. Because as the kind of woman that she has portrayed herself to be on the show, she will not be able to cope with such inconsistencies from Diamond. Diamond does not know if he has 5 kids or 6 kids, by the way. And he's still chasing Nadia. That is if he still has interest. And he's still going to have more babies. Guys, let's be very realistic. Diamond is still in his prime. He's still a young man. He's still going to have more babies. I am predicting probably 5 more kids. Probably. So, it's a lot. So, in my comparison, these two women, they have a lot of things in common. Their stories are very similar. Their heart is similar as well. Their pain is probably not on the same level, not on the same scale, but their pain is similar. But guess what? I watched Young, Famous, and African, and all what I saw was that one woman, that is Zari, chose to pick herself up. She chose to reinvent herself. She chose to become more powerful, added boss lady to her name, and she lived up to that name. She's currently living up to that expectation as a boss lady. Whereas, on the flip side, the other woman, that is Annie, chose to water herself down. Even though she's doing a lot, right? She said she has starred in so many movies, she's doing this, she's doing that, she has a lot of businesses. But when I say she chose to water herself down, not just the entire event, but the way she also sees herself. She tended to water down her own confidence. Yeah, Kaba's chick says she's broken, traumatized, vulnerable, and insecure. And it's sad. So I feel like Annie sees Zari and she's intimidated. Annie sees that Zari, she's infuriated, she's pissed. And I don't think it's about, whether Zari is going to sleep with Two-Face or whatever. No. I think the deeper issue here is Annie seeing in Zari all what she's not, and all what she could have been, and all what she should have chosen for herself. That is what I see. She's probably looking at Zari and she's probably regretting choosing to stay with Two-Face, and probably thinking that, oh, maybe I should have walked out on Two-Face after he cheated on me several times and having children as a result of the cheating. She's probably thinking that way. And guys, on that regard, I will not completely blame her, because the truth is, people who are broken, men, women, sometimes when they do things, they don't even know that they are doing those things. They see themselves as the victim. But I love the fact that in Zari's own case, Zari does not see herself as the victim. She chose her path of walking out on that thing she had with Diamond, and she has never looked back. And when Andile asked her, do you want to go back? She says no. But then we have to wait and see season 2 of the show to know if anything is going to change. All right, let me stop talking for now. Deji Balogun says 100%. Yes. Kabash Chick said Zari is everything Annie tries to be. Exactly. Kabash Chick said Annie is broken, traumatized, vulnerable, insecure. It's sad. Exactly. Deji said Annie was my neighbor 12 to 13 years ago. The sweetest person who over the years has allowed her demons and trauma rule her and count her out. Wow. Time and time again, really wish she could step aside and find her truth. Deji, thank you very much for this comment. Rachel said Zari is the best, very confident woman, and she said also exactly. Kaba said, did you hear what she said? We can sleep on the bed with Diamond and still nothing will happen. Exactly. Exactly. You know what? We have Lutricia on here. let's start this conversation. If you want to join this conversation, guys, I'm going to drop the link in the comment section. Go ahead, click on it. Hi.
Hi, hi.
How are you, Latricia?
I'm good yourself, Lori. Thank you
I'm
for
fine. I am happy that you are here to discuss this series with me. I know that you have been waiting to talk about it. Latricia, fire on for me, please.
yes. I haven't been following it because hey, this reality show, hey, it was really making us go mad. But I just want to touch a few issues, like the issue of Zari and Kanyi more. That is where I'm going because maybe that is where I was interested more. I want to start with Zari. I like that woman. I like her, given the circumstances from what we hear. I don't know her outside the screens as well.
Yeah.
From what is been said, that she went through, a mother that she is, and the person that she is. She's definitely not 100%, but I like the fact that she managed to restore herself after whatever that happened. Being
Yeah.
a public figure that she was, the husband being the public figure, and the girlfriend being the people. But she managed to gather herself together and restore herself and own whatever that she has, her pride, and make sure that she doesn't lose Zari. You understand? So I like that character, and even going into the show as well, she maintained. She walked in with that character to say, "This is me. I'm this woman. Nothing will change me. I'm content. I truly like her." The queen, that way the guy calls her the queen. I think it suits her, that name. I like it. She gave us from what we saw. I think it fits what I'm explaining. Then talking
Yeah.
about Kanyi. Kanyi is one of my fellow South African ladies that I say I'm proud of. I will make my reasons. The Kanyi, young as she was, got married and to this super millionaire. What? Okay, it's okay. And she was named and all that, but she managed to rise above whatever the naming, the dragging, and everything. And then she divorced with the husband. She managed to rise above that. So now I feel as if that power and that capability, maybe it became too much for her. Now she thinks that she is the person. Oh, that's why even in that show, she is behaving as if she is the icon. I don't know if I'm using the right word. She is the cherry on top. She is the steering. Yeah, in our old times we used to say steering. Yes. So that is why I have a problem with her. And anyway, even outside that show, that is the Kanyi that we know. Yes, Kanyi is well known all over. I asked my mother, she knows her, and because she is always there. And congratulations to her, because that is her skill, that is who she is, that is her inheritance from God. But then maybe she also needs to deal with the thing that she must not think that she is above everybody, and she can that one. I totally don't agree with her. And also the parenting style, I rather stand alone. If you guys or the whole Africa says it's right, it's not right. It can never be right. Yes, she loves her daughter. Yes, she is doing all the beautiful things money-wise and all that. It's good that she even has a helper for her because she's a celebrity. She's busy, obviously. But let me tell you something about parenting, Glory. Parenting is not only about a shelter and medical and helper and all that. Parenting sometimes it comes with, that education, we call it an informal education. There is no certificate for it, but you will get it from your parents. Let's say girl to girl, you will get it from your mother. You get that information where they teach you how to hold a baby, where they teach you that when the pot is boiling too much and then it starts leaking, what must you do? Mothers, they always have those ideas. That is the informal education that you need to get from a mother. A mother, the manner that she handles herself when somebody knocks at the door and welcomes the person in, a girl child is learning that thing. She's not saying, look at me, I'm doing something, but it's automatic. A girl child is learning. It's either the girl child will grow up doing that or doing the opposite. There are things that my mother did that I don't want to do, and I told myself that this I'm not going to do when I grow up. You understand? There are things that I learned from them, and I even escalated them. Let me put it that way. And So for her to put the child next door and she is staying this side, yes, the purpose behind is positive, to say that maybe she doesn't want the child to be traumatized by the up and down. Okay, we have our reasons to have our up and downs, which we respect. There is nothing wrong in that. But I still say, with the money that she has, if it was me, I would have had that cottage next door. And when my person comes, I would say, Mama is going out for a weekend. And then yet I'm going next door to be with my person next door. You understand? Then she's with them just for a weekend. Then I come back, so that my daughter grows up with my way of doing things. You know, there is a conversation that will come on TV, Glory, for example. On TV, they will say something and then a mother will have a comment. Then that thing that came on TV will make a mother and a daughter to end up in a conversation that will somewhere educate the daughter, somewhere build a daughter. A daughter will see something on social media. My daughter would come to me and say, hey, Mama, see what there. Then I will have a comment. Either I will advise, or she will clarify something. That on its own, that is part and parcel of parenting. And unfortunately, that one is not planned. That one, you cannot cook it. That one, you cannot tell the helper that you do this, you say this, because you don't know what tomorrow will be on TV that might be discussed. Sure. So that is parenting. Parenting is a walk of life. As I am driving with my daughter, something might happen there. I would have a comment or two, say, Mama, see that person. And then I would say, no, when things are like this, then you must call social development. This must happen. Somehow I educated my daughter in something. So, but then doing that, I'm telling you, my daughter must see me wearing my makeup, doing my hairstyle, how I wake up in the morning, that, oh, my mother wakes up before she goes out of the bedroom, into her closet, gets her teeth brushed and everything, and all before she goes out of the room. Those are the informal education, and it's those things that the daughter will miss. When you are not home, they'll say, oh, Mama, I was waiting, thinking that you would be in your bathroom, brushing your teeth, and then coming out before you do that, making up your bed. You know those things. It's small, but then it's something. So to me, the thing of child staying next door because I'm protecting my child, at the same time, yes, it's good, you're protecting the child, but you are denying the child those things that are brought in by God. God will just drop a conversation in a house that will assist the whole family, you see. So for me, Glory, the parenting part of the one that really stood up for me, for Kanyi.
Yeah. You know, Latricia, thank you so much for bringing on this parenting conversation. As a matter of fact, that was one of the reasons I really wanted us to have this live stream, because there was a lot to unpack about that. But then I went ahead and watched the entire series and my head was just blowing up. See, if you watch the first, I think first episode I did, I said, well, Kanye understands better why she chose that style of parenting. And for me, I was pretty much neutral about it because, number one, I'm not a parent and I am not a single mother like this woman. So I don't know what her reasons could be for her doing whatever she's doing. But then this week, something very interesting happened in Nigeria. I did a live stream about it on Monday or Tuesday, I think Thursday, about a 10-year-old girl that was taken by her school to Dubai with a bunch of other kids for a sports event. So by the time they got there, this 10-year-old girl engaged in sex. And the small boys who were like, I think between the ages of 11 to 13, they made a video of it. And it went viral on the internet. Now, the funny thing is, this thing had happened over a month ago, and the school was hiding it, and then somebody that's a friend of the family brought it onto Twitter and it exploded. It was crazy, it was scandalous. The video is on there on the internet, except they've taken it down. So I saw that incident and I was scared. I got really emotional. And then my mindset shifted from Kanye's own style of mothering. And that was when I chose a path. I said, no, I would choose, if and when I have a child, to raise my child, within a space where I can monitor that child. Because by the time we talked about that issue, it wasn't just about the video. It was discovered that this 10-year-old girl, she had been on a certain social media space that is like TikTok for the past 3 years, That means at the age of 7 or 6, she had opened an account. Yes, and she would do videos where she does erotic dances, where she would do very, very crazy things. There was a video that she was even licking the face of a smaller child. It was very, very interesting. Hi, Deji. It was very, very interesting, right? So I
Hi.
saw all of that, and we had a very, very intense conversation about it on my live stream. I think it was on Monday or Tuesday. And that was the day I made up my mind. I made my resolve that when I have my own child, I definitely do not want Kanye's style because of the kind of society we live in.
Mm.
If you don't monitor your kids, if you don't pay close attention to them, if you don't supervise, not controlling now, but if you do not supervise the things they do, trust me, they would grow so exposed more than even you that travels around the world. And when you come back, they will teach you what you never knew. That was just what I learned from all of that episode. And aside that, I was also going to add this. I was also thinking of, because I was trying to also think from Kanye's perspective as to the reason why she chose that style of parenting. Now, there was something that happened on Facebook this week. A mother was on a Facebook group, and then she posted a situation that she had that her husband, because she has a stepdaughter, a 13-year-old girl, 15-year-old girl from another man. So she posted on that group that this was how she put it, that the man and the daughter, they had sex, right? And she doesn't know what to do. That she didn't say the man raped the daughter.
Yeah.
Oh. She said they actually did something. This was the mother writing that out. Now it was a women's group. You needed to have seen the horrendous comments that came from those women. Most of the women said, your daughter is corrupt, your daughter is useless. You should throw her out of the house. Some of them said, oh, you should take her to an orphanage or something. Let them take care of her. You need to save your marriage. The bulk of the comments on that story that that woman put out there, it was in favor of the man. That husbands are scarce. Oh, madam, you have 3 kids, and you don't have a job. How are you going to raise your family? You want your stepdaughter to come and scatter your home. On God, I saw this thing and I was cringing, like, what the hell is this? So I saw the story and I was thinking that, okay, could it be that Kanye knows the kind of man that she's with? Could it be that this Kudi guy has issues of self-control? Could it be that Kudi is someone that likes young, fresh women, or what? Because we've seen Kanye's daughter. She actually looks mature. If that girl wears makeup, you would not even know if she's 15 years or not. So could it be that Kanye is trying to protect her daughter from that angle, of not allowing anything sexual to happen between her boyfriend and her daughter? Could it be that that's the reason? But whatever our reasons are, I don't know. I'm just saying that I was trying to think from my own perspective what our reason could be. But let me hear from you. Deji, you're welcome. Let Nutricia speak, and then you will speak as well.
Yes, can I just repeat that? Yes, answering
Yes.
the 2 examples that you made, Glory. Let me start with the last one. It's so irritating. How do I save a marriage wherein a person already tempered with my child? It doesn't matter if my child is loose or whatever they call her. At the end of the day, unfortunately, it is my product, it is my daughter, it is my child. I cannot throw. There's no dustbin for people. So in order for me to restore her, is it restoring her if I throw her out of the house and remain with the husband? If my husband cannot hold himself, an adult that he is, am I going to be able to assist him to hold himself? Let him go back to his mother's house. His mother will assist him to be able to hold himself and differentiate between a child and a daughter. I will be able to assist my son as well, not another woman's son. I won't fix. If my husband is giving me a problem, I take him to his mother. His mother must have a plan on what to do with his son. So, and then let me remain with my child and sort out my child. Right or wrong, she remains being my product. She is my child. And going back to Kanye's, as you are saying that you thought maybe that those are the things that she considered and all that, I still say, if I am dating this guy, I'm sure I'm making an example with you guys. I'm dating him and I can see the element of self-control that is not that strong, then he must go. I mean, Glory, we are now of age. We are not 22 years old, wherein our priorities are not. I am old now. If I see that, okay, I'm now divorced and all that, and then this guy, I'm dating him, I like him, but I can see that there is no self-control and all that, as soon as possible, this guy will have to go, because before we get to a big damage, instead of me moving my daughter next door because of someone who can't control himself, what if he goes over the fence and goes to the child? What if we are having a family gathering or whatever, and then he goes into the toilet with the child and rapes the child? Then that means when I am late to collect my daughter from school, I won't be able to ask him to go and collect because I know that he doesn't have that thing. Then what kind of a life? Is that a happy life? No, I'm sorry, I'd rather be alone. No. I'm so sorry. Not with my girls, I'm telling you. I'm sorry. I want them to be raised by me. I'm not saying I'm a right parent or a good parent, but I always say, even when they grow up, I would prefer, you know that theory that they say in court, that you find a criminal being found guilty and going to prison. When they go to prison, you find other criminals who will say to you, I'm happy because I saw my lawyer fighting for me. So I rather stay with my children, maybe with my mistakes, because I'm human, Glory, I'm not perfect, but then I want them to say, but my mother was there. Yeah. I saw her trying to be a good parent. She did not make it, she wasn't that perfect, but I saw my mother was there. I don't want my child to say, but how would you know? Because you were not even there. It's that time when you were busy with what, that you don't even have a recollection of anything. I'm sorry. So that is my take. I wish you could open that conversation of that thing of the girl of Nigeria, maybe next time. I liked it. Yeah. Thank you,
Thank you so much, Latricia. Thank you so much. I mean, you hit the nail on the head. Every damaged and broken man should go to their mother because you cannot come and unleash your brokenness on a child. It is unacceptable. Deji, you're welcome to the conversation. Hello. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, I was trying to unmute you because you were muted. You're welcome. Can you move around your space? Maybe you'll catch a better network signal.
The host has mute. Okay, I think I'm up now. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Fantastic. Okay, hi. This is my first time doing something of sort. I am
welcome.
Chuffed.
You're welcome.
I see your and then when
Deji, I think you should move.
When I
think you should move around.
Really want
your
to
network is
till your
okay. So Deji, if you can hear me right now, what I'm suggesting is you move around your space. Maybe you can catch a better network signal, okay? Because your connection is seriously fluctuating. So move around your space. You just might find a better signal, right? So I'm bringing you back on right now. Okay. Hello. Okay. Can you see us? Can you hear us? Whoa, we can't hear you. We can't hear you. Hello. Whoa. I can't hear you. No audio. Letitia, can you hear him?
I can hear you, but sometimes I can't see you, but I can hear you clearly.
Okay. Can you hear Deji?
Benji, say something.
Deji, we can't hear you. Okay, no. Let me remove you. All right. Deji, I think you should move out and try to reconnect back with us. All right. I think you should come out of the link and then click on the link to join. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. All right. If he moves himself out.
Yes. Yes. So, Latricia, I really loved the way you dropped those points. I loved the way you dropped those points. Deji, just a suggestion. I think you should turn off your video and just speak to us with your audio. I think we'll be able to hear you loud and clear there. If you can, please click on the link again. Let me share the link. Click on the link again and join the conversation. All right. This time around, switch off your video, but then leave on your audio so we can hear you loud and clear. Yeah. So, Latricia, I want to ask you, what are your thoughts about Annie? Annie and Kanye and the Zari's dynamic?
Yes. The blue train, I liked your analysis on the blue train what event? Yeah. Great Gatsby event. Yeah. That you see Kanyi Mbau. Kanyi Mbau, that is a problem. On that one, you nailed it. I'm a South African. We see her things all over, good things. Yes, we agree. But then Kanyi always wants to be the person. So it didn't surprise me to see her, but then it was very unprofessional of her to behave the way they behaved when Zari was giving a speech. It wasn't on for me. It wasn't on for me because when she is giving speeches, even where it's not necessary, she is taking charge, even where it's not necessary, where she's just the organizer, but not the host. You can, if you are an organizer, it doesn't mean that it's your wedding, for example. If it's a baby shower, you are the organizer. It doesn't mean that you are the person, you see. So, but she would get the platform and say things, which is okay. It's okay. Sometimes the organizer must talk so that she can tell you where to get water, where to get whatever, you know, she has a reason, maybe some things to guide you on. But then now the poor lady, beautiful lady, I love her, I respect her. She's now talking sense for that matter. And then they behave the way they behaved, trying to, and you know, a non-verbal message while we're giving a speech. You know how destructive that can be when somebody is giving you a non-verbal message. Rather, a person look at you as if they're hearing you while they're not hearing you. But then those facial expressions they were making, that was too offish for me. That was very off. And I ended up thinking that, you know what, this thing, I don't get the, somewhere I felt like they are acting it. We are not getting the reality thing of it. You get that. Some are giving us like Andile is for me, and Zari, but Kanye, I feel that even when she went to ask the daughter, am I a bad parent? Who can a 15-year-old tell me that I'm a bad parent? There's no way. My 15-year-old, there's no way. There's no way. Under normal circumstances.
Wait till you hear a 13-year-old ask you that question, you would know.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you so much, Patricia. Honestly, that's
My better,
trained.
you hear me?
So, JG, can you put off your video and use just your audio? Let's see if the conversation will improve from your end. Okay.
Okay.
So speak, let's
Okay.
see.
Yeah,
I think we can hear you better now.
I don't know. Can you hear me? Oh,
Yes, this is
fantastic. What
better.
I did was take it off Safari and try it on Google. I think Safari was having a bit of a challenge with the link, but I'm so I use Google Chrome now, so it's easier to connect on StreamYard. Anyways, number one, like I said earlier, I don't know if you missed that part. I wanted to just say I'm very appreciative of your person. I think you are very articulate, and I think you're very much in your zone. I've watched a dozen or so of your videos when you're reviewing content around reality shows or happenings around Nigeria, and I think that's absolutely brilliant. And kudos to you, Glory. I wish you the very best, and I just hope that you continue to blaze your trail until you hit that big, jackpot in the future. Yeah. So the conversation is, I think we have segued into different aspects of this talk from talking about the girls in
Hello.
Nigeria, 10-year-old girl in Nigeria, the news, all the excess by Chrisland school. If I hate to use that word, I think that's smart to even allow this news get out to begin with. There should have just been a curbing of the news. Do not even speak on it. Handle your daughter and let the school expel her, and then all of this would have died down. But her mother, being who she is, or in this case, brought it online because someone whispered in their ears to get traction from a celebrity. I think Ubi Franklin. Forgive me if I'm name dropping. And now the whole world is in matter. The little there, and the question you should be asking now is, where is everybody is talking about the mention? You can't even find the boy face off. So ISIS,
Um,
but not be a conversation.
Deji, you're
You know
actually
where
breaking.
act of adultery
Deji,
her,
you're
but nobody
breaking.
brought the man.
I think he
So I
can't
could,
even hear you.
yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
Deji, can
sugar.
you hear
I
me?
don't know. I can hear you.
Oh.
Okay, because
I
you
can
were
hear you.
breaking.
Super clear.
Okay. Yeah, you were
I don't know
breaking.
this, but
Yes.
maybe yeah. I hear you. I can hear you perfectly. I think the network. Yeah, the network is really bad. I was talking about the case of sexism that you see as part of the ladies are always called out, but we don't, where are the men? So for me, really, number one question was to the mother. The mother, for me, I think she acted out of character. Your daughter is caught in this thing. You shouldn't have even mentioned it. You should have handled your own child in-house and sorted all that mess with her, and then resolve with the school that she's expelled and possibly move her to another school if you can handle, the transfer. But you bring your daughter online in the name of wanting to get some social buzz, and now your daughter is in the mouth of every person. Where is the boy in the act? Nobody's talking about the boy. Nobody is talking about the boy. The boy, we don't even have a video or a picture of the boy. We don't even know his name. But your daughter and her picture is all over the internet. And what about her husband? Nobody has seen her husband. So I think again, this is a case of sexism. Women are always in the eye of the storm. I don't understand it. Dates back all the way to the to the Bible, where Jesus was, and the case of the woman that was caught in adultery. You brought the woman to stone her. Where's the man who that was in adultery with her? Nobody talked about the man. So I think women should begin to emancipate themselves, deliver yourself, because I think sometimes women are their worst enemies. Women put themselves almost always in the eye of the storm, and all the triggers and all the palaver and all the fights and all the abuse. It's almost as though a woman is her own worst enemy. And I
Yeah.
hate to be saying this, but I think we should have some clarity to how internalize all the things we're talking about. Now, let's go back to the show that in question that you're reviewing. I look at all the women on that show, and every woman there signified a woman at a point in her life. There's a case of a woman who has overcome trauma. There's a case of a woman who is going through trauma and in self-denial. There's a case of a woman
Mm,
who is masking that she's cool, she's fine, she's covered it up with the bling and everything, and trying to
mm,
repress who she is. Unbeknownst to her, she's projecting
mm.
her insecurities onto another person. So it's so sad that even men now we can talk about this. We shouldn't even be talking about it because it behoves on the ladies to talk about it. And I'm happy, Patricia, you really jumped on it, and she touched on so many vital points. And yeah, so for Annie, like I mentioned, I've known Annie, not like I know her, we were neighbors, and in the estate where I lived. And like I said, she's the sweetest, kindest, loveliest person. See, that thing with Two-Face has done her so much damage that doesn't, and I think again, it's expectation of wanting to be seen that people put on them. And I don't know who said this. The fact definition of
Um,
parent,
Deji, can you move to the place where you were before?
parent
That
pressure.
network
African
will be
parents
better.
are so what their friends. Yeah.
Deji, if you can hear me, please
Oh,
move back to where you were before.
this is
That
actually moving
signal will be better.
around, right?
Yeah. You know, where you stayed and you
Yeah.
spoke for long without interruption, the network signal was better there. Okay?
Okay.
Can you hear
No,
me?
if you can hear me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, I
Can
sat
hear
down
you.
longest time. Yeah, I did. You can hear me. Okay, I sat down there for the longest time, but I haven't even moved. I just moved now. Okay, so
Oh,
yeah, I don't know where I left off, but I'm just thinking, the case um of the women on that show. I binge watched it because I just saw and okay, let me see what our African people are putting out on Netflix. So I binge watched and I watched the entire show back to back, and sadly to see Annie, in that light, I just felt it's about time she just takes some time for herself, steps away from the limelight, goes and takes care of herself. Away from and guess what? It's almost as though every week there's one week one trouble with Annie. It's either the otherwise or social media or her brother or family, and it's just too much. And unfortunately for her, a lot of that is a lot of what is happening to her will be projected on her daughters. That's the
yeah.
saddest part of it all. That every woman somehow becomes a shade of her mother that she wishes she was not. So when you look at yourself, you are truly your mother's daughter. So I would have wished for her to just say, you know what, I'm not doing this. I really I love love. I love the feeling of being in loved. But can I just step away? Maybe not a divorce, maybe a separation. Let me just figure myself out, figure who I am becoming, figure my sense of what I'm doing, all the pains I have internalized and masked and masquerading myself that all is well when I am really a broken, battered woman who needs help. I just hope she can hear this somehow or see this somewhere and just recall that I just need to get some help, therapy, talk about the things that I have been, closeting, keeping in the closet, on exhume those corpses of pain and shame and grief and trauma that she's been dealing with for all these years. Just get past it and become this brand new woman. I think there's a lot of beauty cocooned in Annie that just is waiting for the butterfly to come out. You know what I mean? She's just masking all of that and thinking she's ready. She's not ready. She's not ready for what society has to say. She's not ready for what her children, the questions her daughters will be asking her. Look at her 13-year-old. She's that girl. Look at her. She's such a woman. In fact, if I see that girl outside, I would just think she's a woman. She's full, voluptuous, and very sexual. Forgive my use of that word for a 13-year-old, but she was every inch a woman, even in that show. With even but was still the dress she wore, and she's
That was
13.
pretty
And now
busy.
you watching your mother go through all of this will in no way seep in insecurities into that girl. That girl is going to be, she's going to be weary of love. She's not going to understand what love is about. She's going to doubt even when people are genuine to wanting to care for her. Every time somebody comes close to her, she would, it would trigger a lot. Oh, this was how my father treated my mother. Or this is what my father did to my mother. Or this is how my mother expressed it, and she would just wreck herself. So I wish Annie could just get away and stop being on social media, go to some rehabilitation center, get her acts together, get her zen back, and then come back and become this amazing butterfly that we know that she is. Talk about the other women. What's it called? The one who sort of is it Zari, the Diamond's ex. That's a woman who I think is on her journey of evolving. You can
Yeah.
tell from how she projected herself. She clearly says that she out she's number one. Knows it. I maturity, self-realization or self-awareness does for you. That when you do know that when you come to full grasp of who you are, everything is in proper perspective. There is no hiding, there is no blurred lines. Everything is crystal clear to you. You know you are not perfect. You want love. You know you're respected, successful. Everything will just take its, you will know how to. So even with all that, this other chap's name, Jerry, go down Jerry's route. Then the other queen bee of the supposed queen bee lady herself, who I see wreaking all shades of insecurity. Forgive me to my all my South African sisters, with all due respect. I think the queen bee was not a queen bee at all. I think she should go back to the hive and get some honey into her system. She was just not dripping honey at all. She was dripping insecurity. She was dripping, oh, I am big, I'm this and that. And like I like what Glory said, that confidence sometimes is not loud. Sometimes even silence is really loud. And she came off there acting a fool. Forgive me. And concerning her parenting style, we're not here to tell who or what. We don't have the right to tell somebody how to parent their children. I get that. However, that said, for how supposedly successful she is, I think it's healthier for you to send a 13, 14-year-old to boarding school if you don't want her staying next door. Because even when you're putting her next door, you're also creating a sense of manipulation with her. You're manipulating that little girl, you're puppeteering that girl, you're mastering it in such a way you don't want her to be too far, but you don't want her to be too close. I would rather that, okay, this is the relationship I'm building. Young woman, you should be in school anyway, but in house. Can send her to where she's in house, where there are values and ethical of that. You have, so why not you spend the money style? And whenever she your boo to give on with your daughter. And I hate that we introduce their friends to their new loves. I think it should take you a minute. Sorry?
We can hear you now. You were breaking up. We couldn't hear you at some point, but we can hear you now.
Forgive me. I don't know. I think I'll just end it. The network is really just acting all kinds of crazy, and I really regret that people will be listening to me, training to hear me.
Yeah.
Is ladies.
Why is this network disturbing this juice? Oh my god. Deji, we can't even hear you anymore. Oh my god. Oh my god. That was so much juice. Latricia, that was so much juice. Oh my god. I felt like I was being watered. Yeah. Deji. Honestly, I
Yeah.
mean, this was enriching. I was being enriched right here. It was so rich. Thank you so much, Deji. If you can hear me, please don't go anywhere. Try and come back. We were learning a lot from you and would love to hear more from you. So please don't go back yet. And if you can come back, the platform is still open. Join us again. Come and feed us with that juice. That's a lot of words you were spewing out there. Thank you so much. Latricia, please stay
Hi.
online. I'm moving on free. Free
Yeah.
is here.
Okay.
Hi Free.
Hi, Glory.
How are you?
Good afternoon. Good evening, rather. How you doing?
Finally, we're talking about young, famous, and African. Come and drop your
Finally,
local
I
perspective.
almost saw you forgot.
No, 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 I didn't.
I mean, not you blushing when Ayo was hyping you up, or Deji. Was it Ayo or Deji? That guy that just left. Not
Yeah,
you
they did.
blushing. I was watching you blush.
Nah, I have to blush.
Hi, Lucretia.
Hi, hi.
Anyway, before we go into that, I wanted to ask you a question before we go into young famous in Africa, because I have my own thoughts. But what are your thoughts
Oh.
that are like blaming
Okay.
BBN now for what happened with that child, like saying, "Oh, it's they learnt it from BBN because they're watching BBN." What are your thoughts on that?
Sorry, Free, can you take that again, please?
I said before going to Young Famous and African, I just wanted to ask you a question that's been troubling me because on Twitter I see they're trying to start up this um thread of, oh, BBN is the one that influenced children, they are the cause of what happened, blah blah blah. That
Seriously.
child learnt everything from BBN. What are your thoughts on that?
That is the most ridiculous thing I've actually heard today. That is the most insane, ridiculous, rubbish. Come on, come on. Let's call it spade a spade. Let's call it spade a spade. One show on TV cannot corrupt a child. Please,
A show
let's
that
put
is
it in.
rated 18.
For
Glory.
even forget about the rated 18, before we even get to the rated 18 part, I've watched different seasons of Big Brother Niger, even the recently concluded with Zambia. There was no public display of intercourse of two people, two
Yeah,
adults, as a matter of fact, going at each other like that. So
yeah,
please, where is it coming? Listen, I just think this movement or this trend or whatever, I think it's out of spite, and this is a clear instigation of some non-entities trying to wash down the hard work of the organizers of that show, of the owners, because they also forget that that show is not a one-man show. It's a show that provides
it's a
employment for
franchise.
thousands of people. It's aside being a franchise. Let's talk about the humane part of it. It's a show that thousands of people work on. These
Yeah,
people they earn a living from the show to feed their family. So it's like you're trying to burn down one tree, but then you want to end up burning down an entire forest out of your stupidity. It's ignorance, if you ask me. The other day when we had this conversation, I gave my own opinion. I said whatever happens with that Queensland girl, it's a measure of the failure of everything, everybody, the society, the system, the people creating content that are XYZ on social media. The school has their own blame to take. The parents have their own blame to take. The girl in question also has her own blame to take. It is not, or it should not be an arrow that is pointed at the Big Brother franchise. It's ridiculous. Come on.
I don't get why whenever something comes to Nigeria, there are other countries that have been doing Big Brother, other countries that have been doing Real Housewives of Lagos, but once it gets to Nigeria, of course, people are excited, people are invested, they want to watch. But there are this segment of people that would just bring up the conversation of, oh, what's the educational value? Why are we watching this? What does this do? This is useless. Why are we doing this? Our children are getting influenced from BB and blah, blah, blah. But this is a franchise that has been going on in other countries. So do you want us to always talk about serious issues alone and just wabble and die in our issues like nobody should let off steam? At least let them be that entertainment part that people can use to let off steam instead of all these serious issues every day. It can drive someone into depression. At a point, I didn't want to go online again because the bad news was too much. There was too much bad news. And when people want to feed themselves with a little bit of entertainment, you try to make them feel guilty, saying it's BBN and all of that. There's parental control. I mean, every time BBN goes on advert or whatever, they always sing it like a song. You can lock the channel, you can block the channel. There are a lot of things you will do. Can you remember when Jackie was always saying her son is watching, her son is watching? And people were always using it to laugh her like your son is watching. But the angle that people were not coming from was, why is your son, who is a minor, watching BBN? And he's with adults. She was always saying it. My son is watching. My son is watching. Maybe she probably told him, "Oh, every time you miss me, come on the TV. You're going to see me and all of that." But he's not supposed to be consuming that content. He's a minor. So when he
And that
watches
is why
something that he shouldn't be watching, there you say BBN is the cause of all these spoiled children.
And that is why DSTV has parental guidance. It has settings to tweak
Eh,
your channel collection for adult content and for children's content. And that is why social media, there are certain social media platforms that also has a different settings for kids. Oh, are you underage? It's just that
Yes,
certain minors now they lie about their age to use this
their
platform.
age,
But that is
exactly.
where the supervision of the parents come in. if you are giving your minor a gadget, what kind of gadget are you getting that person, and what kind of settings are you providing for it? If you go onto Google and you Google minor settings for kids, for phones, for gadgets, whatever, you find them there. Google has a lot of it. So all these things, it's a function of people taking responsibility for where they're supposed to actually play their own role and function there.
Exactly.
That
I feel like it's
stupid
a lack of
hashtag,
accountability.
that trend, I just feel like it's people who are just very, very lazy and not wanting to take responsibility for their own role in society. They are just looking for who to play the blame game on, and
And
then they
that's
are
one of the
taking
problem we
responsibility.
struggle with.
Yes,
People lack
it does not make
accountability.
sense.
People lack
And
Anyway,
accountability. That's one of the problem. People lack accountability. People do something instead of accepting what you've done, take responsibility and be accountable. They start to look for who to shift the blame on. Oh, is this? Oh,
exactly.
is this school? Oh, is that? Oh, is that? Why can't you just say, oh, it's my fault. I let the guard here down and I'm going to take responsibility. But no, in Nigeria, we have this habit of trying to blame everyone else around us except ourselves. After we had that
Exactly.
conversation on Saturday, I went on that Likey. I downloaded it on my phone. I went there, and I swear to God, glory, more than the Ken video I saw, it was of underage girls. I mean, to me, they look underage. It was of underage girls on that app doing the same thing that girl was doing, dancing erotically and all that. And I was like, why is this app even allowing these children on this app? Is it that there is no regulation? I feel like there should be some kind of regulation, and not just the part where you download an app and you ask you, oh, are you above 18? Yes or no? Of course, the children will say yes. They'll just tick yes and just go in. Like there should be some kind of, proof that you're 18. Maybe it's a photocopy of something that is legal that we can use and all of that. And that's by the way anyway. Let's just drop that aside.
Yeah,
Now,
exactly.
onto Young, Famous, and African. I watched it. I've been through since the first week it came out, and I was surprised you're not even talking about it yet. But there was Bibi and Zamzi going on then. I
Yeah,
think you were occupied with that, and I saw the
yeah.
clips on Instagram. Then I went to watch it, and oh my god, I was just feeling a lot of emotions. Like all the women there, to me, they are all broken. If you ask me, they are all broken women. They all feed off of each other's brokenness. Let me use that word. Yeah,
That's
they all
savage.
feed off of each other brokenness. Kanyi Mbau, I like Kanyi, but she always wants to be the queen bitch, the head bitch in charge. I mean, what she did on that train, I was so pissed when she like lost it with Zari. I think they just ganged up on Zari on that train, if I'm being
They
honest.
do.
Because what did she do wrong? She just stood up trying to like, oh, thank you for coming on my train. I'm glad you accepted my invite. The next thing, Kanyi is giving attitude. Annie is giving attitude. What is the problem? Kanye is saying, oh, you can't treat us whatever, whatever. We are all big things where we come from. Nobody's your fan here. I'm just looking like, is this a scripted part? Because I'm lost. Is there something she is there something she did right now that is extraordinary? She just wanted to thank you guys. When Kanye did her ball, that was not even a ball. She gave speech. She was doing speeches and all of that. Why didn't anybody feel some kind of way? And then somebody is trying to thank you for coming on a train. You're losing it with her. And I think Annie just stopped liking Zari after Zari told her husband that she's insecure. There was nothing Zari was going to do at that point that would make Annie change her opinion about her. Annie, what's her name? Zari even bought her flowers and was trying to apologize. She was like, "Oh, it's fake.
Yeah,
It's fake." And then I was just telling myself, like, "Oh, there's at this point, then if I'm Zari, I will just rest because there's nothing you want to do. There's nothing you want to do to Annie or with Annie that is going to make her change her opinion about you, Zari. You already told her that thing you told her husband. She took it so personal, and I think Zari blew it out of proportion during the dinner. Like when Annie asked, I mean, I feel it's normal. If I was Annie, I would ask, like, wow, how do you know my husband? Like, I won't look it in another dimension. I'll just ask normally, like, hi, how do you know my husband? Like, that's all. Except there was other parts where she was asking constantly that I did not show us. But I think she only asked her that once. And Zari took it out of proportion, like, oh, why is Annie asking me? Why is she asking me over and over again? That how did I know? I was like, isn't it only once she asked you, madam? I mean, there's another time that she asked you that we did not see. And after that, she going to speak to Two-Face. I think that was unnecessary. Zari taking Two-Face to the side and talk. That was a lot of, as in, it was a lot of scripted shit, if you ask me. Like, that part was really, really unnecessary. How are you going to take him aside and be telling him, oh, your wife is insecure, I told her I've not lashed you, blah, blah, blah. I'm like,
No,
what's
no,
that
no,
for?
no, no. Free apologies, but I think I have to correct you there because I actually watched the show, some of it this morning, so it's still fresh in my memory. I mean, what's her name? Zari did
Zari.
not go. Yeah, Zari did not go directly to Two Face and started saying your wife is insecure and all of that. No, she, if because you know the show now, you see the confessional and you see the actual scene playing now.
Yeah.
She explained her intention of wanting to talk to Two Face. And she took permission. She wanted to clear the air because, hey, these people just announced a renewal of their vow. And it was a happy moment. But then there was that thing that was still hanging around their head. Because when episode 3 started, I think it started with the conversation about, oh, why, how did Two Face knew Zari? Oh, Annie was upset Two Face knew Zari. So there was, that thing was still hanging in the air. And it needed to be cleared, right? So Zari actually asked for Annie's approval to go and have a conversation with Two-Face. And Annie said, oh, that was fine. You can go
Yeah,
ahead
I watched
and
that
talk
part.
to him. So when it was when they were talking, Zaria told Two-Face that she was not happy about it because she was asking over and over, and Two-Face was like, oh, you do want me to give her a heart attack if I tell her, that it was a business relationship. So Zari wanted to be transparent with Annie. That was why she called Annie to join herself and Two-Face in that
But I
conversation.
don't think it was necessary for her to talk about her being insecure to Two-Face. That part, to me, I don't think it was necessary. She could have even told Annie herself instead of
No, but
telling
she didn't say it
Two-Face
in
that
a
your wife is
derogatory
insecure.
manner. She didn't no, she didn't say it in a derogatory manner. That's the thing about manner of approach, body language. They were all joking, they were all having fun. And you know that Annie was actually right about things at that point in time. And Zari needed to clear the air because already this thing was causing some tension. There was already negative things being said about Zari. Zari needed to clear the air. But
And I get
carry
the
on.
part. I get the part of Zari trying to clear it up. I felt like she was being genuine when she was trying to clear up the whole issue. But Annie, after she made that statement, Annie was not even budging. Like, she won't listen to anything else at that point. Even if Zari let her come with Jesus and roll on the floor and apologize to her, I felt like Zari, she genuinely wanted to mend the friendship. She wanted to mend it and just try to be cordial with Annie, but Annie was just giving off bad vibes, like she's no more interested and all of that. At the point, I was even getting irritated, like, you know what, Zari, just leave her. Like, it's not my fault, just leave her. And I feel like there was a lot of ganging up against Zari, like in the show. There was a lot of ganging up against her, which I think maybe that was scripted or not, but it was just unnecessary. And
Probably.
then for Annie was I don't know. I don't know the word to use for Annie. I'm trying not to be too harsh with her, but she's just a lot. She is a lot. I mean, when she sat down and the next thing she started telling Andile, right, about her marriage, this. I was like, are you serious? It's not somebody you
He just
just met.
left.
I was lost there, like, is Annie for real? Like, is this how she just tells people her business? Like, when she sees me on the road running to me and I greet her, she'll just start telling me all her issues. I was lost, like, why are you doing this? She just started opening up, telling him things. Oh, I've been through this. When you know somebody, you wake up and the person has given. I was like, is this necessary? And then Kanyi came, instead of her to use her head and just change the conversation or shut up, she still kept going. And I like the part where Kanyi said, in her confessional, she was like, oh, now I've got you. I just met this woman and she's already telling me everything I need to know about her. Now I've got you. I like that part. I was like,
And she
okay.
really
I'm
used that
watching
to her advantage to play
yeah,
Annie.
she used it Exactly. She used it to her advantage. I think Annie was very gullible, like in opening up
Yeah.
and telling them everything about herself, like people you've barely met. And when you're telling people about yourself, I get that there are people like that they meet you and they want to onboarding everything, bothering them, blah blah blah, and all of that. Just stop for a moment and ask yourself, this person that I'm telling all this, have they ever told me anything deep about themselves? Aside
Right.
from the surface things that they are telling you, oh, I have a child, I was married before, have they ever told you anything deep? If the answer is no, then use your head and give yourself sense. And no matter what happens between Annie and Two-Face, I don't think she's ever going to leave that man. Like, it's almost like an obsession. Like, I don't think it's love anymore. It's like she's
The
obsessed
fact
with
is that she
him.
can't live or breathe without him. So we got the answer.
Yeah, like I swear, Glory, that renewal of ours that I did, every word that came out of her mouth, I believed her. As in, it was just doing me boom boom in my head. Like I cannot breathe without you. My head is doing boom boom. Like
It's
she's
scary.
telling me
Emotional
now, like
ability.
it was giving me the energy of if I can't have you, nobody else can have you. And I'm sorry to
Yeah.
say, but she's giving me this vibe of there's this man that I've known all my life. I worked with him to accomplish all he has accomplished. I cannot leave him for another woman to come and take
Yeah.
over what I worked for. That's the feeling I had when I was watching that
I,
show.
I felt that too.
That's the feeling I had. I said, why would somebody hurt you so much? It's not like you're in a place where you're not empowered, you can't live, you can't take care of yourself. I mean, you're doing good for yourself. You have the resources to live. You can co-parent in peace. You can co-parent in peace. I know that people will say, oh, God hates divorce, but God hates his children suffering too. Why are you going to be in that kind of relationship? Like you're so hot. The pain and the hurt that you've gone through is more than the happy times that you've had with that person. And the part where she started crying to him and telling him, oh, I'm glad you've noticed. I didn't think you noticed. That is to show you that she has been bottling a lot of things inside. Is it that Two-Face does not listen to her when she's trying to communicate with him, or he just don't get it? Because when she kept saying it over and over that, oh, I'm glad he's understanding what I've been through. He's trying to see from my perspective. It's actually worse because it's one thing for her to go through all those things, but it's another thing for you to not be able to even onboarding them. Like, tell this person that hurt you how you're feeling. And she gave off that vibe like this guy does not listen to her, he does not understand her, whatever. I think she's so hot. She needs a lot of healing to do. She needs to be told that, see, marriage is not a do or die affair. And I feel like this guy is still going to hurt her again. Maybe in the future he's going to do another one. And if he comes back and just pops up with a child, she's still going to stay there.
Of
She's
course.
going to stay there because in her head, oh, nobody is going to take away my sweat, everything I've worked for. I knew you when nobody knew you, blah blah blah. I can't just leave you now that everything are good. There are a lot of women that have that thing, that narrative in their head, like, oh, I've been there for you when you had nothing. So now that you've amounted to something, I won't leave my spot for anybody, no matter what happens. And because of that, the man knows that he's taking advantage of you. He's hurting you every single day. Two-Face
I'm
is
sorry
like
to
the
cut you
Nigerian
short,
version
please.
of
Let
Tristan
me,
Thompson.
sorry, please. Let me chip this in before I forget. Kanye actually described Annie in a very, very perfect way at one of her confessionals. She said that Annie embodied the typical African woman.
African woman,
You've been
yes.
there for this man, and they told you you leave your marriage, blah blah blah. So you have to fight for the marriage. And so it
Yes.
seems like Annie was fighting to be in the marriage, to keep the marriage while she's losing herself. So she's there,
Herself.
but it's like herself is just going away and away and away.
I mean, did you
Crazy.
watch the part where she said promise to never cheat again, something like that, in front of her daughters?
I felt like that was ridiculously insane to have been said in front of her daughter.
Oh my god. I felt like her, like to me, I was like, let the ground just open and swallow me. I was embarrassed on her behalf. I was like, what did this woman just say? She talks loosely, like she just talk loosely. She does not think before she talks. She just say whatever she wants to say. And her daughters were there, and for them to not be freaked out by what she said, trust me, they know about all the infidelities and all the other things that is not making it to social media. Because when she
Yeah.
made that statement, her daughters were not surprised. They were not freaked out. It was just like a normal talk to them. So it's probably that they've heard about it severally, or they've even experienced several things that have not even gotten to the internet. For them to just be taking it casually, I feel like that was a very, very wrong move on our part. You can't be asking or begging somebody to be faithful. They know what to do. They are now adults. If they think in their heads that, okay, they don't need to be faithful to you, then you don't need to be with that person. There are people that are in like an open relationship, then there are people that are Muslims and their husband get married to other women. I respect that. It's better I be in that kind of marriage that, okay, my husband makes it clear to me that, look, I'm going to marry another wife. I'm entitled to marry up to 4 wives. I respect that, than me marrying somebody that, okay, we've had an agreement that it's just going to be me and you in this marriage. There's no third party, there's no second wife, and then you're going around sleeping with everything under skirts, giving birth to children here and there, and I'm still there hurting, taking everything. She has a mom. Her mom is still alive, except her mom is this normal African women mentality that is going to tell you, oh, stay in your marriage. Like my mom, when she saw the show, she saw bits of it and she was like, no, Annie cannot leave her marriage. She needs to stay there. Why would she leave her marriage? She needs to stay there. She needs to endure. God is going to fix everything for her. She better not leave that house for another woman. I was just looking at my mom like, huh? You see that this woman is hurting. She's like a shadow of herself. Whenever she sees Two-Face, she giggles. Like, it's almost like, she wants to eat him. And that part
It's
where she
like
was
the
licking his
tiniest
head, oh my God.
attention is. So this is how I saw that particular episode. This is how she
You
portrayed
see when she licked
herself. She
his head?
portrayed herself like the tiniest attention was a blessing from Two Face, and I felt so bad for her because I just wished she knew how much she deserved more, right? So it
More,
was like,
yeah.
oh, the guy came to see, and it's like, oh my God, is it me? Do I really deserve to be graced by his presence? It was like she was worshiping the feet he
And
walked on.
she
And
kept
I
saying
prayed.
that he's a good person. I don't doubt that. He might be a good person, but not a good lover. You might be a good person, but not a good father. Do you get all these things are different personalities? You might be a good person to other people, but not a good lover. He's not a good lover if you ask me, but maybe he's a good person to other people around him, but not a good lover. But she has already she already have this narrative in her head that we die here for better, for worse. And the way I'm
Yeah.
looking at her, it's all fun and games and irritating, whatever. But to me, it's still scary because somebody like this that has already had that narrative in their head that I'm never going to leave my marriage no matter what happens, they can kill. They can kill if another person. I'm not saying she can do it yet, but they can be pushed to that point. There was one time I listened to one of her voice notes that leaked where she was crying hysterically. I don't know if you listened to that voice note that she's going to go on live, that Two-Face has gone to London or US to meet Peru, that she's going to go
Oh
on
yeah, I
live
heard
right
that.
now. You heard that one? Oh my God, I felt every pain in her voice. Like it was cutting me deep. You could hear her pain. You could literally taste her pain from that voice note. This woman is so hurt. She is so broken. So why do you insist on staying in that environment? Why can't you leave? And my sister was telling me that, oh, maybe Two-Face is the only man she's known all her life. I said, no, you can't say that. This woman is somebody that works in the entertainment industry. She has met people. There have been few times where cheating allegations came out that she also cheated. I don't know if that is true or not, but she has met men, she has seen men. She knows that she deserves to be treated better, but she insists on staying in that toxic environment, and it's affecting your kids negatively. I felt bad when she said her daughter has not been able to work for a long time, and she just was able to stand on her fifth birthday. Something about that line. I didn't know that. I think a lot of people did not know that part. So I felt genuinely bad for her. I felt sorry for her. Now imagine as a mother, you have to deal with your child trying to walk, trying to get her to be okay, to stand by herself, and you still have to deal with a cheating husband that you'll be
Yeah.
googling your husband to know his whereabouts. Like she's acting like a fan. She's acting like a fan, like she's
Seriously.
his fan.
Yeah.
And I love
No
what Kanyi
praise.
told Two-Face. I love what Kanyi told Two-Face when she said, Annie, do you know how much he loves you? Kanyi did not even need to stay with them for a long time for her to have noticed. In fact, once you just stay with her for 1 hour
Yeah.
and maybe Two-Face
Feeling your
comes in
mood.
or he calls, you will just know. The part when he called in that party in Diamond's house and she was all over the place, she was giggling. It was as if she saw Santa Claus. I was like, eh? I was just shocked. Like, are you serious? Is it a husband that is
You
making
know
her
what,
feel all
we
this
have
kind
to
of
round up
things?
now. We have to round up now, and I'm just gonna say this that at the end of the day, this is a reality TV show as put together by a group of people that want us
Yeah.
to see, love, and appreciate this set of individuals for who they are, and also project Africa, right? Africa and Africans, and I am really hoping that some of these people's inconsistencies and even their consistencies are maybe not 100% who they are in reality, because some of the personalities I've been seeing so far, guys, it's a lot. It's a lot to swallow. It's a bitter pill sometimes, but overall, I feel like the show has been very, very interesting, entertaining. The
But Glory, what
drama
do you think
has
about
been worth the time.
Nadia?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, it's been worth the hype. And to be honest, we can be here all day analyzing the show, talking about it. But let's say, and we just might have another conversation, picking out one or two other things that we probably missed from the entire series. We'll have another live stream to discuss it. But for now, we've actually stayed for over 2 hours, and we have to end today's conversation. Thank you so much,
All right,
Grace. So
Glory.
much.
Thank
Yes.
you.
And to Nutricia, thank you so much, Nutricia. Oh my God, you spit some heavy, heavy fires of wisdom today. Deji, you came and you watered our souls. You blessed us with your wealth of knowledge. Thank you so much for all of those amazing wisdom that you spit on here. To the rest of you that have joined us, from the first 1 minute till now, 2 hours, 25 minutes later, I want to say a huge thank you to all of you. Thank you so much for coming through, for saving this time out from your busy schedules. I will see you guys on another episode of Frankie Speaking with Lori Elijah. Tomorrow is Nigerian Idols. If you are a lover of the show, I will be doing a review about tomorrow's episode as well. And of course, during the week next week, there'll be more videos coming from this channel. Thank you all so much, and I'll see you guys on another episode of Frankly Speaking with Glory Elijah. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and bye.
Hey, stop right here. Don't go anywhere. You are especially welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Lori Elijah, and this right here is Frankly Speaking with Lori. I am the girl with the tea. I give detailed analysis of reality TV shows like Big Brother Naija, like Nigerian Idols, like The Voice Nigeria. You know, basically any reality TV show that actually interests you, it automatically becomes my interest as well. I literally carry on from my head. I give detailed analysis, I give detailed reviews. I run commentaries also because I want us to have fun. I want us to catch cruise. I want us to, you know, vibe, to stuff like that. And reality TV shows are not the only kind of content that I put out on my channel. I also do movie reviews. So you see this Glory Elijah of a girl, she's a very, very boring sport. Guys, for real. I am super, super boring. However, whenever I feel like passing my time, you know, just having my own fun, chilling, being in a zen mode, I catch up on movies, which I find very, very interesting or exciting. But also, guys, I love reviewing those annoying ones because, hey, we have to call them out. You cannot come and waste my data, you cannot come and waste my precious time watching some really annoying movies. And I also talk about trending social topics because, of course, this life has to be balanced, okay? It's not all about entertainment and fun all the time. We also need to talk about those serious issues that concerns me, also concerns you as well. You're about to have a blast on this channel. I also share my life experiences from time to time. Yes, that is when people ask me to talk about it. But if people don't ask me to talk about it, sometimes I do not feel the need to talk about it. I like keeping my private things private. But once again, you are welcome to my YouTube channel, and as I told you before, you are in the right space. Trust me, you will be so addicted to this channel. People are going to be asking you, what's happening with you? Are you okay? And hey, don't forget to turn on post notification, all right? That is the best way for you to always receive alerts of my videos. So you see what I'm doing on my